Welcome to the continued podcast adventures of Superhero Speak.
But I think many of the people that love this character and that love superheroes in general have used these stories as inspiration to say, you know what? I'm going to do something good in the world. I'm going to make a difference like my hero when I was a kid.
That is my fondest memory of it, because when you're doing comic books, you want them to affect people, right? You want people to care. You want to strike emotions, and I knew that Clone Saga was striking a lot of emotions.
Can you imagine Pulp Fiction starring Goofy and Mickey Mouse?
I can totally imagine that.
I'm sure somebody's written that one too.
Quarter pounder with cheese and France, Mickey. What? Boy, ale with cheese, Mickey. Yeah, I can totally.
See,
I would watch the hell out of that movie.
Yes, I gladly sacrifice that my progeny to view of a mighty Marvel beast.
But Neil Adams is somewhere going, it's my time.
how do you measure success?
The same way I measure my dick.
Hey, everyone.
With imagination.
Welcome to Superhero Speak.
Hopes and
I'm
dreams.
your host, Dave. We're live.
I'm JD, and I got us booted off YouTube. I don't know why John's not talking.
John's here, just hanging his head.
Hanging like my
And we're
dick.
joined tonight.
Shriveled to the left.
How'd you know what my nickname was growing up?
Joined tonight by our good friends, 8-Bit Ray from the Gorilla Brain podcast.
The one and only, sir.
And of course, our good friend Don. No more D Square.
Yeah,
From
Don,
Omega
no more D square. Yeah, that's my diva move. I'm Don now. But yay, what that was record time off the rails for the show. So
Immediately.
Oh,
good job.
I'm proud of myself. It popped in my head when I heard that. And I'm
master.
like, I bait her. Yes.
So how is everyone doing? Don, how are you? We haven't seen you in a little while.
Yeah, no, I'm doing awesome. I've had a really nerdy week. I started the week by being introduced into a D&D group, which hasn't happened in like a decade.
Cool.
So I immediately, ordered a PHB for 5th edition. I somehow mysteriously already had the Dungeon Master guide. I don't even know how that happened, but whatever. I got a bunch of crap. What can I tell you? Spent all day, basically Friday, like playing Magic. No, all day Friday playing Hero Clicks, and then like all day Thursday playing Magic. So I've just had a really dorky weekend, and here I am on Superhero Speak. So fan-fucking-tastic is the answer to your question, sir.
He topped it off with
It's
this.
the nerd trifecta.
Exactly.
Cool. It's good to hear. How about you, Ray? What's new with you?
Nothing ever exciting ever happens to me. Are you kidding me?
Nothing is good.
No.
No, things are good. Things are fine. They're fine and dandy, but nothing new.
No news is good news, huh?
That's right.
Yes.
No news is good news. If anybody watches Robin Hood Men in Tights, that would be the line.
Tights.
I love that
All
movie.
right. How about you, JD?
I'm good. Very good.
Any exciting wrestling news from the weekend?
My kid wrestled in a gigantic tournament today, and I was very proud of him. Not because he won, but because he won a match where 36 total points were scored in the semifinals, which is ridiculous. And he was crying before the overtime started, saying, I can't do this. And I calmed him down and said, just go out there and try, buddy. And he did.
That's when you sit him down. That's when you sit him down and you go, can't is the cancer of can.
That's I'm going to use that. And then he won in the finals because the kid got himself disqualified. So, hey, DQs, we'll take him. He basically won like this. I don't know if you saw it. I put it on Facebook. He's got this giant steel shield that they gave everybody because, like, that's the draw of tournaments. You battle for the shield, and all the kids want to do this. And so there's like 10,000 kids at this high school gym today. And it was insane. We got there at 7. He didn't wrestle till 11 o'clock in the morning. And it was I think we're done after this for the year. I'm
No, but
serious.
that really is to be proud of, though, Jaden. I'm sure you are. I'm not telling you a news flash here, but just coming from a parent whose child is the exact opposite, where they don't want to try hard or be interested in anything at all that I am. Just make sure you enjoy that, sir, because
I do. It's not just that. It's not the winning and lose, because he has the trying issues too, like with school and stuff like that, where we've had problems where the stuff's hard.
Yeah.
Or if we're not interested, we're just like, I'm just not going to do it. And he's the worst practice room athlete I've ever had, where he just gets decked by everybody. And it's usually because he's like, I don't care. So we've had to have a lot of conversations about this.
Yeah.
But in competitions, he knows how to turn it on. And like, this is the first time that he was ever like had to reach down and find something. And I was really, as a dad, like, who cares about winning? I could care less.
Right. No.
But like the act of finding something and doing something that you didn't think was possible.
Yep.
He had 3 matches today. Before his first match, he goes, I can't do it. I can't do this. I said, yes, we can. We're literally walking onto the mat, and he's telling us, he's like, I can't do it. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I have $3 in my pocket. If you come out and try, I'll give it to you. He goes, $3, baby. He runs out to the center. And I'm like, Jesus, 6-year-olds, man, whatever. So that was my weekend.
Yeah,
John,
15-year-olds. 15-year-olds. I have a 15-year-old, and we went searching record bins over the weekend, and we found a Ramones Rocket the Russia vinyl, right? Original pressing.
Yeah.
And we both kind of touched it at the same time because we're big Ramones fans, because she takes after Dad. And she looked at me and was like, you don't have money to buy that. I said, bitch, you don't have money to buy that. And then she didn't talk to me all weekend. So the record's back over there in the collection, and she's pissed off at me right now.
That's awesome.
All right. Oh, before I get to John, Classy's here. What's up, Classy?
John,
all
what
right,
happened
John,
to you
how
this
are
week?
you?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I see the bourbon's already out. So.
Yeah, let's hear it. What went wrong?
Oh, nothing. I'm with Ray. Like, literally nothing happened this week. Just
You almost got into a fist fight with a 15-year-old?
No.
Oh, okay. Then your life's not as exciting as mine.
I true, which is good, So just working too hard and really just overworking basically, and watching really old movies. And I finished 2 more books this week, so I'm on a roll. I've been finishing 2 books a week now.
Really old movies, like movies from '84.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, I have lots of little factoids for our discussion. I am a
That's good, 'cause I have
font
questions.
of knowledge.
I have lots of
great.
You have questions?
Oh, big time.
Well, this
okay.
The movie going to review does make you ask questions about things. But anyway, nothing doing, nothing really interesting. Just kind of living life.
Man down.
The joy of live streaming.
Cam down.
Dave,
what about I was going to say, Dave, what about you? I'll take it, JD. I got this.
Thanks, Ray.
How you doing, Dave? How you doing this week?
I'm all right. Nothing too exciting to talk about. Celebrated my mother's 80th birthday yesterday. So
happy birthday.
The whole family got together and had a good time. Then just chilled at my girlfriend's for the rest of the weekend, and now I'm here with you guys. But yeah, nothing new to report. You know what? I hadn't watched this movie in a long time, so I understand why you guys have questions.
Did it age well?
No.
It depends.
I've never seen this before, so this was a trip, man. So I was wondering. I'm like,
It sure was. I can't wait to
get
talk
into
about
all
it.
of that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right, let's see. Randy
Exactly.
Savage is here. If you're not fighting teens, what are you doing with your life?
I know. I'm
That's
a
a fair
teacher.
question.
I get it.
I'm living it up, apparently.
Like, every day, man. Every day I'm ready to box a teenager's
There you
ears
go.
in. Don, I'm sure you feel the same way.
Oh, my son is 14. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Is he an 8th grader?
Yes, he is an 8th grader, and they put the 8th grade in the high school, so that makes everything way more interesting.
Yeah.
My kids are 20 and 28, so
I want to powerbomb him daily. Absolutely.
been there.
Well-
Don't want to do it again.
What? Power bombing a child?
No,
Many-
exactly.
many children.
Do tell Dave,
Dealing
how
with
could you do that without
teenagers.
being in prison? Because I'd like to know.
Dave, did your hair get longer from last week?
He's wearing it down,
No.
so now it looks longer. He was pony
Yeah.
because I asked this question last week. He's no longer ponytailing it. He's just
Okay.
letting it all hang.
That is by the request of my girlfriend,
Wow.
who is hopefully watching. She didn't watch last week.
What kind of conditioner do you use, Dave? It's really nice. I mean, I don't have that problem. Look at this bald shit going on over here, but I'm just curious. If I were to have long, luscious locks, what conditioner should I be using?
Pantene.
Well, to be honest, I don't use.
Tell me you use
I
baby
use-
shampoo.
Shampoo.
I actually use.
Use Johnson and
When I was
Johnson.
younger, I had a really bad dandruff problem, so I use Head and Shoulders, the shampoo and conditioner combined,
I use
which
that.
I get yelled at by my girlfriend.
Hey, Tim Jones.
Tim
So-
Jones. Hello, sir.
Woohoo!
So essentially, it smells like a bingo hall on your head.
Oh yeah.
No, I got you.
He's Fabio. Random Randy is saying, "Ooh, he's Fabio. I can't say this.
Fabioing.
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 I can't believe it's
Fabioing.
not butter. Fabio.
I remember those commercials. They
And he
were
was
awesome.
on Iron Sword,
Blood
the
of
cover of
Lion?
Iron Sword.
What was Iron Sword?
It was a NES game.
Oh,
Oh, Karen's watching.
you didn't.
Oh,
you didn't
look.
mention she was Italian.
Yeah.
That's
Buck-
awesome.
Buck up, boys. She's watching.
She's a part of the family. I love it.
Hi, honey.
right,
I know you're
terrible.
not feeling well, so you don't have to watch long.
I'm surprised she stuck around after the first 5 seconds about penis jokes.
That's why she. I know I derailed this thing completely, like right out of the gate.
She has 3 teenage boys, so you know.
Oh.
She's
Oh, okay.
the
So they all have
penis
penises. I get it. Got it.
Are you putting olive oil in your hair? That's a great idea. I might
Wow.
go do that after the show.
That would go great.
Yeah,
with
no,
the
no
beard.
olive
It
oil on the
absorbs
hair.
into the skin. Wow.
Yeah, I like this.
Some
idea.
olive oil, a little bit of garlic, some garnish. It's just
Pillow will smell fantastic.
Maybe it's
Where I will read the quote. So Wizard, which I assume is Joey, says
Yep.
maybe Dave's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's
Yeah, I was
Maybelline.
born with it.
Yes.
What's Classy saying here?
Yo, we will not
Been
have
watching
Power Rangers,
Power Rangers in
space
space
besmirched
lately.
on this show, sir, ma'am.
So
It's
cheesy.
2023.
In the year of our Lord 2023, when superhero speak, yes. Where does one watch Power Rangers in space these days? Like, how would one quench one's Power Ranger?
That is a
taste,
good
if you will?
question.
I would like to answer
I don't
this
know
question.
where.
Please, Ray. It was a question for you, really. So
Yeah, so Power Rangers in Space can be found on Netflix currently, along with Power Rangers Dio. I don't think Power Ranger Turbo. I don't think they go past Space on Netflix. I'm not too sure. But if you would check my external hard drive, you would find every season of the Power Rangers that's ever existed. So I would just go there.
I'm not surprised to hear that.
Don't ever be.
Who's burying a body? There's a lot of
Power
like,
Rangers in Space is top tier because they had an episode where they teamed up with the Ninja Turtles. Uh-huh.
Oh, I
that was
remember that. Yeah.
It
That was
quite
done in the
awful.
comic books, actually, and the Ninja Turtles all got their Ninja Turtle Zords. It was fucking great. Anyway,
I'm
sorry.
sure it was much better done in the
My
comic
light
than
just
it
fell.
was.
I'm not going to get it yet.
Yeah, but this was like 20 years before that happened in the comics, man. This was like they were just combining shows at the time because Ninja
Gotcha.
Turtles had a live action show, and it was quite awful. Go back and watch it. It's quite.
Oh, the
fucking
next
awful.
mutation? Bad.
Oh, it's awful.
Bad.
It's like if Saban had a representation, that was the representation. It was
It's like-
quite awful.
Space
Let's
spinning
let's
soundtrack
make
is
something
hot.
terrible, and they embraced it. Like, yeah.
Wow. We got so derailed already.
Yeah, in space.
Yeah,
once
we're
we-
way off already. guys.
Otherwise, we're just reading social media, and I hate that. So this is
Well,
much.
you know,
We could skip social media. I mean,
I'm all for that. I say that every week.
no.
people don't
That's
tweet this
part
shit
of
for
the
no
fun
reason.
of this show.
Says you.
All right. I'm gonna ask the people watching: should we skip social media madness this week, or should we do it?
Well, in the meantime, I want to give you a little breakdown about Power Rangers. So after Power Rangers in Space, Ron Wasserman stopped doing the opening theme for the show, in which case the decline would start. And then we would go into, we go from Turbo, and then we go In Space. Now, In Space, it wasn't a bad see, Tim Jones says no. He wants to hear Social Media Madness.
Whoa, I'm listening. I'm listening.
There we go.
Read my words, you coward. Random Randy says, read my words, you cowards. Who didn't have a crush on the Pink Ranger?
Seriously.
We all did.
Are we talking about
Amy Jo Johnson, the one true Pink Ranger?
Yeah.
I don't know. The chick that replaced her, the Australian chick, was pretty hot too. What was her name? Casey. I can't remember her name.
I didn't watch that.
Third season of Power Rangers, and then she would be in the Turbo movie. If you ever want to watch the Power Ranger Turbo movie,
I remember the Turbo movie. Yeah,
I do not.
I'm sorry. You can buy it currently on DVD for $3.74 on Amazon.
I don't want to.
There you go.
Oh, well, I'm just saying you can. It's an option, or it's free on Hulu. I think currently.
I keep myself in the face too, but
I keep up on my Power Rangers. You have no idea.
I know. I get, but believe me, I have an idea.
Do you know how many times I've watched the Forever Red episode with all the Red Rangers in it? Oh my god, I still get chills, man. When they're all doing their morphing sequences, oh my god, the fucking 6-year-old in me is just like.
I never thought it before. Let's go to social media.
Is my major crush.
Mm-hmm.
Back then.
No. Ditto. I didn't like Power Rangers, but I watched because I was going through puberty, and Amy Jo Johnson was.
Yeah, no,
that was everybody at that point.
I was preteens, teens, and you watch Power Rangers, and I appreciate. I like Voltron better, but I always appreciated Power Rangers because Power Rangers, at least the suits always matched the Zords. Like right off the bat, fucking Voltron was like, okay, well the red guys in the black dragon and the black guys in the red, or in the red lion. Like at least Power Rangers kept it simple. Green went into green. I don't know. It's a crazy thing.
Well, they cobbled Voltron together from like 3 different shows. So.
It's just Sentai. It's a Super Sentai over in Japan. Amazing what they did with footage from Japan and no-name American actors, and how much profit they made and how big it was.
That was the point. They didn't have to do any. They didn't do any of the stunts. It was all
until Power Rangers the movie in 1995. Yeah, they didn't have to do anything, but all those scenes had to be filmed, so they recreated the armor and made new enemies and things like that. But then it's supposed to translate into season 3 of the show, and it's the most ridiculous thing ever of how they try to incorporate the movie into the show. It's just like, it really
they did have to go through some fucking hoops with the Tengu warriors and shit.
A fucking ninja robot comes out of space and says, "You guys look like you need an upgrade. Here's some ninja powers," and I'm just like, that was weak.
You know, if I played a game where I took a drink every time we derailed, I would go through my entire stock.
You would no longer be part of the show, I think.
We haven't been railed.
I know, right?
Yeah. You get railed. You get me ranting on Power Rangers, I won't stop talking. I'm just saying.
So Tim, I
threw one out there,
I think you are way past the Power Rangers age range.
I'll never grow up.
I was watching Power Rangers. In 2002,
you were 7 in 2002. Jesus,
right?
I gotta go die in the corner. Pardon me.
I was graduating high school in 2002.
I was in college,
man.
Ugh.
I was married with kids in 2000.
Fuck. Oh wow, you're old. Fuck it. Let's do the social media.
All right. First off, remember we talked about Steven Dorff last week and how he basically said the new Blade movie was going to be garbage because the MCU was garbage.
Harsh take.
Yes. So Josh, the loving animator, said he's 100% correct. New Blade will be trash. The original is still best of all the Marvel movies. Best of all the Marvel movies. It's legit.
We don't know that yet. This is Marvel. Like they usually do a pretty good job, and even when they do a bad job, it's a much better job than a real bad job.
But
so
there is a veneer to the first Blade movie. I kind of get like he's just being a dick and he's just trying to get coverage. Like
it's nostalgia, right? Like,
but
it's
sure. There's a nostalgia part. There's a this is the first comic book movie that was ever taken seriously. I mean, outside of Superman and Christopher Reeves. So I agree with him, actually. I kind of want them to leave it alone at this point, especially since they're already having problems with the directors and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's being a dick, but I get where he's coming from. He's not wrong per se.
No, he's being a dick because they brought back everybody else from the Fox movies except
Right.
Steven Dorff.
Right.
He's bitter.
Yeah.
That's all he is. He's just
There's
bitter.
also that.
And considering you have Steven Dorff hasn't been relevant since like 2002. He's like the modern day Christian Slater.
Christian Slater is far more relevant than Steven Dorff.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at least Christian Slater appeared in like The Office.
Yeah.
Jai Jacob John said, didn't notice until the GIF.
That's my name too. Sorry.
He hits him with the right hand, and then it shows him swinging the left. Yes, there's one of those like.
Oh yeah.
The movie was cut not correctly. Continuity. It's a continuity issue. That's it.
Don't even try. Don't
the ring-a-ling ping master.
At ST331L Spike. This dude's name is impronounceable. It's already better if he's not playing Frost, which he's right. He was nothing like the Deacon Frost character from the comics.
Not at all. I like the Deacon Frost character from the comics. I did not like Steven Dorff's character. I thought it was a nice take, but why call him Deacon Frost? Why not call him something else?
True.
And I
think people are doing this just to mess with you. They give you these names.
That's right.
Ikari Madness.
Ikari Madness. No one beats Snipes as Blade.
That's true.
We don't know that yet.
You've never had anybody attempt to be Blade besides Wesley Snipes.
Not true, sir. Yeah. Not true.
Do not say true. Sticky Fingers.
I was going to give you Sticky Fingers.
No.
Sticky Fingers was Blade.
We don't talk about Blade the series here.
We should not talk about Blade the series. It was really
We really
bad.
shouldn't.
It was bad, and I wanted to love it.
Me too.
Blade is going to get downgraded. It's Disney.
Why are we hating on Blade on this? Why are fans hating on Blade? You haven't even seen a still frame from the set. You haven't
done anything.
You haven't seen anything.
Ooh, Michael J. White could be a good Blade.
He would. You are literally throwing punches at shadows right now.
Yep.
That's all you're doing. All this negativity for no reason, for something you've never seen.
I agree. Something that doesn't even exist yet.
I know.
All right, this next one, JD, is from you. You have to explain it.
What did I do? I don't even remember doing this.
You tagged us in a tweet.
Like, you think I remember what I do during the week?
It's Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I did that. We talked a little bit about this on my fight game shows too. The stuff we'll talk about later. James Mangold tweeted out this picture from Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. So we're talking about James Mangold. He of Walk the Line. He of Logan. He of the other Wolverine movie that we won't talk about because it wasn't that good. But he of Logan.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about an Academy Award-winning director saying, hey, I love Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. I don't know if he's angling for a job or if he's getting hired, but I say run with this. James Mangold's Swamp Thing? Hell freaking yeah. Anybody else?
Okay.
Nobody else got a take on that? Okay. Just me.
No.
I mean, it was awesome.
Logan was great, so I could see it. So, yeah.
Oh, I didn't think it was that great.
Well, he also
Really didn't like Logan?
Yeah.
Okay, Dad, I get that because it's too much. It's because you're such a traditionalist that it's far too out there of a take.
Yeah.
I understand and I respect your opinion.
But
and I don't disagree, but I think it's a well-made movie.
I love Swamp Thing, and I'm not that into it. So whatever the fuck they do, I think is going to be awesome. So if you say, JD, this is quality shit, make it happen, then yes, I'm on board with that.
Guys,
the Swamp Thing is awesome.
I trust anybody that made 310 to Yuma, probably the best Western movie in the last 30 years.
I forgot he made. It's the best since Tombstone.
I would say that, yes. Or Maverick, yeah, I would say that.
Or
Maverick's
Silverado.
Well, Tombstone came out Silverado came before those two movies we just mentioned.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, 310 to Yuma is a good movie, and
really
James
is.
Mangold is a really good film director. He made Oliver and Company, guys. That's how versatile this man is.
True.
We lost Dave. No, Dave's back.
What?
We lost Dave again. You're freezing.
Am I?
You
Well,
look
it is
more.
cold.
Tell Karen to get off the Wi-Fi.
Brandon Savage says, love the resume. I am down for him to try Swamp Thing. Thank you, Ray. Right, Randy, ready?
So they've already said, and I know that we'll go on this topic later, that the Swamp Thing that's coming out is going to be a horror, horrific. So, I mean, that all fits, right?
Yeah, they said that about New Mutants too. It's going to be a horror movie, and it was just
favorite part of the show. Andy sighting, love it.
God, he crept in without me noticing.
He did get in there.
Come here. They know you're on the show now. Come here.
I love Logan, and I think it is
What's up, man?
Marvel's best work since Infinity War. That's from Classy.
But it wasn't the same.
Besides
studio.
Netflix Daredevil, okay. And then
you can say that Logan was the best thing Fox ever did. You can say that, but don't compare it to Infinity War.
Wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to let that stand. You'd be wrong if you said that. But
yeah, I like Logan, but let's not go crazy.
It's Deadpool.
Let's see what
not Days of Future.
Let's see what he does with Indiana Jones.
I like Days of Future Past. That was a good movie.
It's okay, but not as good as Deadpool.
Not even the road cut.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the road cut.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I gotta look at that one.
I love the extra scenes.
This is fair. Marcellus is on now. I didn't think.
Yep, Marky Mark.
Let's see what Mangold does with Indiana Jones 5. I agree. I like
the trailer.
Trailer looked cool.
Yeah,
but
they showed a trailer for that. I got to see it on the big screen, and we all know how rarely I go to the movies. But I went and saw Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They had a screening, and it was weird. And it was weird seeing, an old movie with modern trailers. But I finally got to see the Dial of Destiny trailer, and I'm like, this could be okay.
I think it could be good too. I think Mangold's the right guy to do that. So I hold out hope until proven otherwise.
I think Swamp Thing is going to be released in 26 or 27 since Mangold got Indiana Jones and one other movie. Indiana Jones is done.
Yeah, I think it's probably still in post-production. So I mean, he's looking for the next thing to do. So this is the best time for him to jump onto something. And I can only assume he's having these are conversations, or he's campaigning, one or the other, which is a weird choice for a guy like him. I would never think of James Mangold for Swamp Thing, but now that he said that, I want that. Right? I want that. That's something I want to happen.
Yep.
Who my choice would be? You know who my choice would be for Swamp Thing? Del Toro.
Ooh,
yeah.
Monsters. Dude loves monsters. Like, he'd be perfect for that. But he's busy. I don't think he's that interested in these kind of movies either, so it never happened.
All right. We also talked about the good old Quantumania trailer not that long ago, and Rate Schmidt, who's at Psycho Night Girl, said, "Of course I'm hyped. It's going to be incredible." So,
gonna be good.
Well, I'm gonna.
Do they keep the Creedence Clearwater Swamp Thing theme? Come on, they gotta.
No, because that was in the second Swamp Thing movie, which was ass. Although I cannot hear "Run Through the Jungle" without thinking of Swamp Thing. Return of Swamp Thing.
Such a great band.
Every time, such a great opening sequence for a movie. Like that's the highlight of the movie. It's nothing but the Alan Moore, Rick Beach covers.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay.
And Bernie Wrightson.
Two things. First off, Don, are you excited for Quantumania? Because I don't think we've talked to you in a while.
I'm a wait and see on that. The MCU has really hit a lull with me as far as my interest level. So,
a lot of people are saying that with since Endgame.
I got this one. Yes, I'm very excited to see Bill Murray in the MCU.
There you go.
Am I excited for Quantumania? No, but I'm excited for what Quantumania can bring to the MCU. It'll give us I don't know, some kind of flight path of where we're going, a blueprint.
I agree.
That's what I'm more excited about. I love Paul Rudd, but I mean, it's Ant-Man. I mean,
I'm looking forward to Jonathan Majors as the true Kang now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hot take, I think they've chose the wrong second major villain here, to be honest with you. Just the more I think about it,
I've already said that. It's not he's not the main villain. He'll make it the Secret War, but he's not the main villain. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
We should have seen Galactus or Magneto or some shit by now. Kang is just, I don't know, that's down the rabbit hole.
I don't know. They give us Thanos.
I don't know.
If you weren't like a hardcore Marvel fan, I don't think you knew Thanos.
It's the only feasible choice, though, Don.
Yeah, I'm with Ray on this one.
How do you bring in Galactus without bringing in so many other characters?
When you introduce...
Like the Fantastic Four, right?
And the Silver Surfer.
Just pepper him in. I'm not saying bring him in full on.
when you introduce time travel to the MCU, he's the villain that makes the most sense in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. Him Morta Mortis.
Yeah, I don't have a strong argument against that. So perhaps my beef is with the time travel element.
And they can
Fair.
use like if this runs into like more of the weird time travel stuff in the Marvel universe, they can easily bring in Galactus, because who's Galactus? He's a guy who way back in the beginning of the universe survived the old universe, right?
Well, yeah. Well, he also knew the Celestials and all the older beings and things like that.
Right.
He's part of the Living Tribunal. You know.
Well, yeah, and they're
Infinity
going
Watch.
Secret Wars at this point, so yeah, that's going to get even more
so
crazier.
real quick, I have this comment up here from Frosty. Greetings from the North Pole, aka Chicago.
No kidding.
Oh boy.
We remember Frosty kept commenting last week, and we weren't sure who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Stay Frosty.
Frosty's the one that called you a conversational narcissist.
That's the guy who it is. That's who that is.
Ah,
Hey, welcome aboard,
Frosty. You're famous.
Frosty, welcome.
Awesome.
Oh my God, he even moved to Chicago. Wow.
I know.
Yeah, he's even around.
I made that
you,
about
JD.
me. You see how I did that? That's
No wonder that comment was so cold.
JD, do you have any new neighbors you haven't met yet?
I live in the country, man. We've got no neighbors out here.
Okay, just down the road a little bit.
Maybe.
Okay, keep an eye open.
Tim
Frosty.
Jones. I can't wait for Quantumania. I think it's going to blow my mind. I may need a shrink. See, and this is why we have Tim Jones. Sour grapes.
Don't
available in
forget-
finer newspapers across this country.
Good one, Tim.
This is why you have
Damn.
Tim Jones. The dad jokes. I mean, like,
Yep.
he is the Lord of dad jokes. The real villain is Doom, according to Random Randy Savage. That's possible. That's possible.
I'll take that. I'll buy that for $1.
We've never had a good film Doom. We've never had a mediocre film Doom.
What
We've
do you
had
mean?
bad film.
I thought the Doom was just fine in the was it Cronenberg? Was it Cronenberg?
Cronenberg.
Now Cronenberg's Fantastic Four would be a thing.
Oh my God.
Like that would actually,
have a
that would
thing.
be-
It
that
might
would be-
literally be the thing, like
That would be
Carpenter's
perfect.
thing.
That would be perfect actually, because he's the body horror guy, and the Fantastic Four by Cronenberg would kind of work.
Yeah.
I think you meant Roger Corman.
Yeah, Corman. Nah, yeah,
Not David Cronenberg.
But I want a Cronenberg.
I know. I want
one.
this. Let's speak this into existence. That could be a crazy
Cronenberg.
thing.
Cronenberg would be good for the Doom Patrol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would. That's actually a really good call.
Even Randy says, "Yes, give me a Cronenberg
Fantastic Four.
Yo,
That would rule.
me and JD and the guys here have a knack for speaking things into existence. We have given David Goyer another shot at life.
You and I made sure that Mike Flanagan was in fact making the Dark Tower.
There it is.
Like that is a thing that we created. Like we have this eerie power, and let's just speak these into reality.
The Cronenberg Fantastic Four. I'm here for it.
Me too. It would be a nightmare. It'd be awesome.
Wow.
All right. The last two social media madnesses are actually just our good friend Kassan Warren brought a couple takes on some news articles. One I wasn't going to cover in full, but we can talk about real quick. So Amazon has apparently bought the rights for Tomb Raider to do something with Tomb Raider on Amazon. So what do we think? Like, is this a franchise that needs a third reboot? Do we even care?
They've rebooted the games. Why do they need to reboot the entire franchise?
What happened to the movie in 2018? Didn't I thought?
Yeah, that's saying they made a movie in 2018. They rebooted the movies.
Right. So they don't need to reboot it again. They just need to go with the same actress, don't they?
Yeah, but
this is
someone
Amazon.
new owns the rights.
This is the age of the reboot remake, baby. Come on. Here's your press.
You know, this is the same company that made Rings of Power.
No, yeah.
Which is a great show.
Cyborg Superman.
I just want to give you shit, Don. I love you.
I know. I love you too, brother. The Rings of Power was fucking great.
Worst show of 2022. Go back and listen to that
Oh
episode
my
in the
God.
archives.
You know what?
That was a
You
thing.
two
We had
should
that
just
conversation.
get into a ring and fight it out.
Who might watch that?
I'll meet you in the middle.
Please.
How's Ohio sound? Oh, wait, you're in Ohio. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm in Ohio.
I'll meet you somewhere in the middle.
And I'm 42 with a
I thought
bad leg.
Amazon was going to do a show about Tomb Raider.
Isn't that what Kazan just said?
Yeah. Or no, wait. Maybe it's not.
Reported
I don't
bought the
know. It
rights to
just
Tomb
the article
Raider.
just says
I
they
don't
bought the rights to the Tomb Raider franchise. So who knows?
I don't know. I have
Well,
no opinion.
Randy, you could have joined us tonight.
Yeah,
Square,
no kidding.
not Square Enix.
Oh yeah, Randy, come on.
Not a movie. Well, yeah,
Not a
because
movie.
they don't do movies; they do TV shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. What I mean, are you guys into this idea? I'm not.
No.
I've never been a Tomb Raider guy. So
Yeah, I don't care about Tomb Raider at all. Like, I'm a big video game guy. Like, worked at FunColan in the heyday as Tomb Raider, and I don't care. The most I ever did was kill a monkey on Tomb Raider 2. I think it's a boring game.
Did you kill a shark?
You could clip that; it would be wild. The most I ever did was kill a monkey.
Don, did you ever mention that you worked at FunColan before?
Oh, yeah. I probably did. Sure, why not?
Okay.
But we drink and stuff on this show. So
Yeah. You know I worked at FunColan too, right?
yeah, you did. Dave Pomager, right? The old CEO.
Yep. And I helped open up the Houston area.
There you go. Then it was GameStop.
All right.
Then things started to decline.
FunColan became GameStop.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Game Informer magazine started with FunColan.
Didn't know that.
I used to know some of the editors.
And they rushed and they pushed Electronic Boutique out of this country. You can only find them in Canada now.
Yeah, but the thing is with the video games, like because they had video games playing in the store all the time, because we allowed people to try them out, which
I remember that.
made it, which had women bringing in their kids, leaving them there. But the video game was it the Stingers from the play was just. I mean, I've got like Altered Beast in the back of my head and Rock and Roll Racing. Like you can hear them in the back of your head still. Yeah.
Altered Beast. I remember that.
So
Rock and Roll
Drew,
Racing
your
is
good friend
awesome.
Drew chimed in here. JD, yeah, he thinks that
Ray and Don
Ray
should fight.
and Don should fight it out to see who is the Lord of the Ring.
Nice. Pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, we're selling money for this. So,
I'm there. I'll bring out the old backyard wrestling skills.
We got a YouTube channel, man. We got to get those subs up.
I'll do my special move, which is the elbow off the 12-foot ladder. Come on,
give me the dusty elbow.
Right.
Dusty Road elbow.
Let me tell you something, Danny, baby.
I used to come out to Cactus Jack's music.
That's a good one.
Tim
Jones got to hit the hay. He made his one dad joke, and he's out for the night.
Yeah.
He actually messaged me this week, and he's like, "Hey, what time do you guys stream? I got to come on." I'm like, "Yeah, man, come on." I didn't know he was going to come on and do his gimmick and then bounce. That's disappointing.
I respect the hustle, sir.
Oh, I agree. Oh no, nothing but.
Of course, I am the voice of Aesop, so hey, no bias.
There's a Tomb Raider Netflix anime. There's a Tomb Raider Netflix anime coming, and Amazon will be building Tomb Raider universe. So wait, Netflix is doing an anime, and Amazon's going to be doing the show. That's weird.
Okay,
in a world where an Indiana Jones movie is going to happen, nobody cares.
Now, given that Netflix took over the Castlevania and did that Castlevania anime,
they did good with that, though. Yeah,
that
was. I love that fucking show. That is an awesome. Yeah.
And what blew my mind is that it's all done by an American studio in Texas. I can't remember the name of them, but yeah, that's American anime. Just like Afro Samurai was American anime, and it
given the gore, that makes sense. That was in Texas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don, you got a compliment from Tim.
All right, yes, sir. Thank you. And a shout out for the Rock and Roll Racing. Yes, Olaf is in the lead. Yeah, it's a great game. Olaf was a secret character, so that's a good reference.
Wait, nice. Classy Ulysses asking about the Indiana Jones anime. Is that a thing?
I don't think Indiana Jones would be a very good anime.
It couldn't because, Castlevania we just mentioned would steal the Whip Thunder there. So I don't know. Yeah.
That was bad.
No, but that's like literally true. I mean, like,
I think that Castlevania is the standard of American anime. I really do. I think that's the bar. That's what they have to live up to. If anybody in this country is planning on doing anime, that would be it.
But why? The animation or the writing?
Both.
I thought anime couldn't be done in America.
Fuck that. Castlevania's awesome, and
Castlevania really is awesome. The third one's the best.
Just the way Rick and Alucard roast each other is
no, JD, no.
All right. So the last social media madness, I'm going to tack on to our news.
It's the same story, basically.
The same story.
Yeah.
So, if you enjoy the show, want to be part of Social Media Madness, well, first off, subscribe to the YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, wherever you're currently watching us. And also, here's our good friend Don to tell you more.
Enjoying the show? Want to be part of Social Media Madness? Make sure you're following superheroespeak.com, where you can find all of the social media links for the show at the top of the page. While you're there, check out previous episodes of the podcast as well as other great content. And check the site often because we are posting great comic book reviews as well as other comic book and movie content every day. Make sure you are following us on Twitter at SuperheroSpeak. And while you're there, check out the rest of the Geek World All-Stars Podcast Network. Simply follow them at *_geek. The Geek World All-Star Podcast Network include great programs such as the Pop Prism Power Podcast, Colt 45, So Wizard, Fans on Patrol, the Gorilla Brain Podcast, and of course, Superhero Speak. Search for GW All-Stars. You will not be disappointed. Now it's back to Dave and the boys on Superhero Speak. That's the cringiest fucking thing that I think I've ever gone through.
Don, you needed a good 2 or 3 shots, and then you could go do that.
Well, though, my wife has been roasting me all week about how she still did that delivery. She's like, "You're reading from a script." yes, I was. And that Power Prism, the
Pop Prism Power Podcast.
She demands I record another.
You know, you say it every time you're on the show, and you've not offered to do another one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. While you're here, Don, would you like to plug Omega Level Nerds?
Yeah, go on YouTube, search Omega Level Nerds, and you'll find various things there whenever I feel like I decide I want to talk about something. And we will definitely have Speak because Bad Batch is coming out or has came out, Mandalorian. So I'm going to have stuff to talk about as I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. So check that out on YouTube, still on Podbean and Apple Podcasts as well for the time being. But I would just go to YouTube there, search Omega Level Nerds, and you'll find my silliness.
All right. And of course, Ray.
I got this one.
Find Gorilla Brain.
You can find Gorilla Brain Podcast on any podcasting app that's out there. That's Apple Music, whatever you want to call it, iTunes, all that fun stuff. Any podcatcher that's out there. Go listen to past episodes of my show and all my shenanigans. But announcement.
Yeah.
Don't ever make that motion near your mouth ever again, John.
Right.
I was doing the crowd goes wild thing.
No, you were doing the 2 dicks in a face.
Never mind. You it's in your brain.
You know Ray will take you there. You know
Columbus, Ohio, Wisconsin, Georgia.
Milking the cow there, John. Damn.
You know, I like Ray's on because
Ray, what's your announcement?
The announcement is that I'm going to do a new show. That's the announcement. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's a new concept, Joe.
About what? Okay.
I'm gonna hyper focus because my show has always been everywhere, right? I cover mass topics. I do comic books, movies, anime, all over video games, all over the damn place, right? I do full movie commentaries, but I'm like, let's just focus it into one thing. So I'm announcing that I am starting the Overlooked Hotel.
The Overlooked Hotel.
Yeah. So
Explain.
It's a focused podcast where I'll be watching movies that I'll be watching alone, just like Jack Torrance, and lose my fucking mind.
I love it. I think it's genius.
And it's not copyrighted, and it's not being used by any other podcasting or YouTuber or anything. So copyrighted, come at me, dog. That's my shit, man.
Honestly, I'm surprised no one has ever started that before. The Overlooked podcast, like I'm surprised there's no Stephen King show that jumped on that. Like, it's awesome, Ray.
You would think.
Yeah, it's right there.
You would think.
John is auditioning for Taffy Pullers Are Us.
So there you go. I'll be making that Twitter, Instagram, and all that fun stuff later. But yeah, that's my new venture. God, I already recorded 2 episodes. One's on Kickboxer 3. Did you know that there's more than 2 kickboxing movies?
No, I didn't know there was 2, to be quite frank.
There's a multiple. Now, does Jean-Claude Van Damme eventually become the bad guy, like acting for the bad guy? That's what somebody told me.
No, he's just bad acting.
Po. Right.
All right.
Pong Po.
He dies at the end of 2. Yeah, let's take that commercial break.
And we'll get back to we got a lot. We got a lot.
Kickboxer's the one where he puts the wraps in the glue in the glass.
Right, in the glass. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the second one they wrote him off. The second one they wrote him off. And there's more movies after that.
All right. We'll be right back.
Attention, attention. Family thinks high toy prices are joke.
Holy one-liner, Batman.
Drop your punchline, Joker. Listen, folks, only at Zellers are you protected by
the law of Toyland. Nobody beats Zellers prices on toys. Nobody. Color change Hot Wheels are just $1.77 each, and Micromaster Transformers are just $6.97 each.
You're protected at Zellers because the lowest price is the law.
Is that before copyright law or what?
That makes that makes me nostalgic for Toys R Us. I missed
Apparently, JD thought the commercial break was going to be much longer.
Or he went to go buy stuff at Zellers.
His kid's ninjaing behind him, so... Oh, there he goes.
All right.
The thing is that we don't know how long these commercial breaks are going to be. So some of these commercials are like 2 minutes long. Some of them are 30 seconds long. So JD runs out of the room.
I thought that was going to be like a 2-minute commercial like last time. I was going to grab something to drink. I mistimed it. Where'd you get that commercial? I like that 8-Bit Ray had to comment that he loves this show.
Thank you, 8-Bit Ray.
It's very, very.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited about your new venture, sir.
Yeah, you guys are going to need a moderator soon.
We need a moderator.
We need an adult.
That's what you're here for.
Yeah, Dave's supposed to be the adult here, but
we need more.
What?
We need more.
Dave is the type of guy that'll just
Karen. She'll tell you I'm not an adult.
Dave is the kind of guy that, if his kid throws a fit in the middle of the grocery store, he'll let him spin in a circle on the floor until he tires himself out. He lets us tire ourselves out. That's what Dave does.
In the land of the blind, Dave, the one-eyed man is king.
What
are we doing? What are we doing? Like,
I
don't know what's
hanging
going on.
out.
We've only got one news thing and then the main topic.
News.
Yep.
Right, but the new one news thing is huge. Let's start with Kassan tweeted at us. We have the initial mapping of the DCEU under Gunn out. I like what he's saying, and most interested in the Lantern series. Also, the Amazonian internal strife story is intriguing. He also said, I also love this nugget. The duo are putting a premium on screenplay writing, saying that would prevent the dreaded feeling of superhero fatigue and also give the projects a tonal and thematic difference from each other. Sorry. Yeah, guys. So let's just start off with, he made a huge announcement of a bunch of movies and TV projects for the DCU going forward. And what do you guys think of, just before we get into each individual one, what do you think of the announcement overall? Because I have some thoughts. So
I
okay, you got your hand up there, JD?
Yeah, am I muted? No, I thought it was muted for a second. I love this. I think this is absolutely great. I think they chose smartly some, like I said, stuff with different tones and different concepts. Like I am in love with everything about this. I'm very excited.
Didn't he announce like a lot of shows that are very it looks like they're planning a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy type shows, like things that people are not very familiar with right off the bat, right?
Yeah. Like they're starting with Creature Commandos, which is that's an obscure DC title.
And the Authority and
the Authority's really interesting. Yeah. I did not see that coming. Like,
nobody did. That's the thing.
It's Warren Ellis, right?
Yeah, it is Warren Ellis. It's Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch, but it's like it's Wildstorm. It's not really DC, and like the Authority is never quite. What is the Authority in a world that has a Justice League, and that's never quite worked because of that? You know, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't getting into the individual stuff just yet because
sorry,
but the Authority is one of the ones I think is the most controversial I've seen online.
I don't know why it's controversial. Like it's a good property. It's a good story. I don't see the problem here.
I like it. Plus, we only seen half of the Chapter 1 DC slate. That's from Classy.
Is that true? He's only announced half of it. I missed.
Well,
I missed
yeah. Okay. So,
I
Don,
think
what do you think?
I think. Oh, go ahead, Don.
I think that it's smart to lead with Superman and Batman because let's face it, that's the biggest DC properties that are out there. They've got to make those good though because I think they are going obscure, and that's DC obscure, which really isn't mainstream. So they've really got to make those first two movies, that Superman, that Batman Brave and the Bold. He's got to nail it there, or else I think we have problems.
He just said Brave and the Bold. He didn't say it was Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yes, he did.
Oh, no,
it's Batman and Damian.
It's got Damian. Yeah, he mentioned Damian,
okay.
the Bat family, Damian Wayne. So yeah, that's
We're
which is an
starting
interesting note. He's not going Batman. He is going Bat family.
We're starting with Damian Wayne. We're not even going to go with Robin. That we're right into Nightwing. Like,
but it's like they're not even
a bunch of.
They're starting off with this as a universe that's kind of well traveled, right? Like we're not doing any origin stories. We're settling into something that exists, which I think is fine. I think we're origin storied out, quite frankly.
So Drew agrees with you, John. We're starting off very Guardian-esque.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's very Guardian-esque. What I like about the Batman Brave and the Bold is that they said they cited Morrison, right? They're taking their inspiration from Morrison's Batman run, which in my opinion, the best Batman run ever. Like it's cool and it's different.
And King, they mentioned going Tom King too as being an influence.
Yeah,
right.
It's exciting.
You look like you have something you want to say.
I don't care about DC.
Then you stay quiet.
Right.
That's what I've been doing this whole time. I'm just letting y'all run at the games. They've canceled. They've canceled Titans and they canceled what was the other one that was running, the live action one?
Native Peach. You have to be more specific.
The one with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, no, Doom
Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
So I like,
which was good. They were both of those.
I like the first season of Doom Patrol, and then they canceled.
Hold on. Who's Natalie here? This show has the sexiest guests. Is that your wife, Don?
No.
I appreciate your candor. Not sure which you're talking about. Don't want to know which one of us you're talking about. If we don't specify, we can all pretend it's us.
There we go.
You guys aren't guests. JD and John aren't guests, so it's either Don or Ray.
We're not guests here, man. We're family.
I assume us both.
You guys are both like on the show. I mean, it's like
we're family.
Yes.
But I think it's good that they're going in an obscure direction because they need it. They need that Guardians kick in the ass to kind of shoot them off in the direction.
But they got to nail it, dude, because if they don't, nobody's going to care. DC's going to.
Here's the thing.
It's going to be risky. It's risky to do it, though.
Yes.
What do they got to lose? Reputation?
I know, true. But, that's the thing, though. Like, they're in such dire straits. You'd think they go with a sure thing.
No.
Or at least, but even with James Gunn in control, we know that, like, if they went with the sure things like Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, and then maybe some of the others, like, some of the main guys, then we would be okay. But they're starting right off with high risk things that the general populace doesn't know anything about.
Well, they're starting with Superman and Batman. I don't know how high risk
they're not.
Is.
We're wrong.
But I'm saying the Authority and all the others that they've got.
Okay. We're not starting off.
No.
This isn't a reboot. This isn't a reboot. This is
I know.
We're starting with Flash.
We're starting with Flash, right?
Like
yeah.
Flash is.
Yeah,
Flash is a crisis.
So Randy said.
Booster Gold's
more
the only good
stories
one.
for at least 10 years. He's also saying Doom Patrol. They have a Doom Patrol. It's been canceled.
Yeah.
It was on HBO Max.
It was weird.
I think that they're looking at the success of The Boys, and they're like, okay, an obscure property no one's ever really heard of.
Yeah.
Let's just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. It's
But
all
they can't. Can they afford that though? Yeah, that's the thing.
Hell yeah, they can afford it in a
Disagrees with
bankruptcy.
JD.
And then they'll get bought out by Sony. Oh, you're
He
laughing.
says you're wrong about the Morrison run on Batman.
Yeah, Drew and I have had this discussion before. Drew is not a
Feel that way.
connoisseur of all things Grant Morrison. I think the man is brilliant, and I love his Batman because it's not the typical Batman run. That's why it was great. And he gave us Damian Wayne, which is the most indelible thing that's been given to the Bat universe going on 2
In
decades
a long time.
now. Yeah, he introduced him in 06. It's 2023. Yeah. Like, Damian works. And it's something that the most... Sorry, Dave?
It's the biggest thing that's been introduced to the Bat family since either the death of Robin or the Killing Joke. But like everything else, it was just status quo for years.
Well, and here's what's cool about that is that none of the straight people, like the straights, the civilians, none of them know who Damian Wayne is. Like, that's what's going to be cool about it is he's a very unique character, like the Murder Robin. Right?
Oh yeah, no, he's good. Like that's something that people like because he has a compelling story.
He does have a compelling story.
The interaction between him and Batman is very compelling.
So Randy's like he wants the Dick Grayson Damian.
I've heard
Wayne
that.
run.
I've heard a lot of people
really
say
good. That was
the
really
best
good.
comment.
I
So
own
good.
that. The dynamic between those two is fantastic.
But it works only if you understand those characters in the comics.
Not necessarily.
And their
not
personalities.
really. No.
No. It's just the lighter Batman and the darker Robin. It's the same take.
It's Robin trying to be Bruce.
Yeah.
While trying to be Batman with raising Damian because Batman's back in time. It's really weird.
It is weird. Don't get me wrong.
So
but it's a lot of fun.
Here's
It
my
was
question
only
about-
like what, 32 issues, 23, something like that.
Yeah. Professor Pig.
Here's my
What a
question about
great-
the announcement in general. DC has a bad track record, and I know James Gunn, it's completely different leadership and everything at this point, but they have a really bad track record of announcing a bunch of stuff and not following through, or
That's true.
giving us some garbage, and then people lose interest.
Dave, you got to
very
look at it
quickly.
like this. If a pirate ship is full of holes and you assign a new captain to that ship, it's still gonna fucking sink.
Yeah, but there's room for correction here, though.
There is, but
It's gonna take a lot, especially to sway people like me.
You're right. They're gonna have to fucking nail that Superman movie, man. They're gonna have to nail
You
it.
can't base it off of Superman. You have to have the thing that the MCU is a combined effort of a
What
bunch of
are
different
they
great
gonna
properties.
base it off other than Superman and Batman?
Green
well, they've got
Lantern.
but
Ryan Reynolds.
No, they could do a good
No,
Green
you
Lantern,
went
and they've got
Ryan
lanterns coming out,
Reynolds.
right?
Yeah,
Hold
they
on.
have
Do you
lanterns
wanna
coming out.
But here's
JD, do you
look.
want to address Drew or ignore him?
I'm ignoring Drew.
All right, look.
Drew wants me to fight with him on the show, and I'm not going to do it.
There's a couple of gems in here. Like the Supergirl, they're gonna take a page from the CW Supergirl and kind of play up.
I disagree with you.
No. Wait. They're gonna play up the point of she came in. First off, she witnessed the death of everybody on Krypton and the sister planet, and then she was supposed to protect Kal-El when he was a baby, and when she gets to Earth, she took the scenic route and got there after he'd already grown up and become a hero. So that's if they do that well, that's got some legs. But Booster Gold is the big one because he has a way more compelling story than anybody really. Yeah, but if you watched like Justice League Action, right? The animation, right? They went into that. Like Justice League Action was very deceptive. It was much better than anybody thought. And they went into the fact that behind the scene, like in front of everybody, he was just a goofball. But behind the scenes, he was risking his life almost every day to save the freaking universe over and over again. Because he was literally policing time all by himself.
But he's also a gigantic dork.
Yeah,
and he screwed up a lot of things that he had to go back and fix, man.
Right. So that could be a real winner.
It is. It's really good. Like I said, I think there's enough here that's going to make this interesting, and like I think we can avoid the superhero fatigue by steering into stuff like Swamp Thing, steering into stuff like Paradise Lost. Yeah. Their take on lanterns is really cool. They keep citing True Detective, so they're going to give us some. Because again, the Green Lanterns, I think are at their best when they're like space cops, right?
when
that.
it's an ensemble, right?
Yeah, and they're doing that. They're having John. It's going to be John and Hal solving a mystery. It's something that sounds very like cosmic horror esque, right?
I think
so.
got a
It's
good point here.
And that goes right into we're coming into this universe where it's already set because we already have Hal and Jon Stewart.
Yeah, it's a Warren universe. And again, this is
with room for Guy Gardner.
This is technically the Snyderverse just rebooted, right? It's like it's very DC. We've talked about this before. It's the remade version of it. It's like it's Flashpoint.
Well, did you see that part of the announcement? They asked Gunn about Gal Gadot and Ezra Miller, and basically he said that some of the characters are changing, some aren't. For Ezra Miller said that they're currently responding well to treatment. And for Gal Gadot, he said they've met with her, but it's going to be a wait and see attitude with her.
They need to flashpoint Ezra Miller into Grant Gustin. That's what they need to do.
This Flash movie better be incredible.
I know, right?
Like,
people are going for Michael Keaton Batman, and that is a fact. They're not going for Ezra Miller and his shenanigans. We don't care. Give me a reason to ever care about the Flash in the Justice League movie. You can do the regular movie or the Snyder cut, doesn't matter. Give me a reason to care.
Fair enough.
What character arc did he bring from that movie that justifies him getting his own movie?
None. I mean, just on the fact that he's the Flash. But again, I can't hold what happened that Snyder and Whedon did into this. This is a different movie. And quite frankly, Andy Muschietti's a much better filmmaker than either of those two. So I will give it a chance because it's got a lot going on that I do like, but I'm surprised by how much they're sticking by them. I still am. It still surprised me.
But what doesn't surprise anybody is Waller, because it's going to be a spinoff of Peacemaker, and if James Gunn's wife is in that, of course that's going to stick around in this universe.
Well, quite frankly, Peacemaker didn't need to be rebooted. Peacemaker worked.
I know it actually was, but it matches the darker tone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's on hold.
I don't think it is a Peacemaker, but Waller is a direct sequel from it.
Right.
So Mark says James Gunn has a tough road ahead. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 better be not disappointment like Thor 4 did. So
I don't think it will.
I think he's right. Like if Guardians of the Galaxy
2
3
was a disappointment.
Isn't good. But if 3 is a disappointment, like, is that going to hurt the DC movies?
No, they're
you can't You can't beat a dead horse, Dave.
Oh my!
You can't.
Fairly
what are you gonna? What's gonna hurt?
Like what you're saying is basically they have only to go but up at this point, right? Like they can't really go any farther down.
Dave, bring back that quote from Ulysses, please. It was actually really good. I would like to. As long as the budgets aren't high, let's say it's 60 million under, then they're good. Black Adam was a budget of 220 million and only made 400. That's the thing; it only made 400 million dollars. But when when you stack the budgets this high, if they're not a tremendous success, it's hard to justify. So I think Ulysses is right. If we can keep these things. Not like using the term reasonable with $160 million is kind of crazy, but if we can keep everything like beneath 180, I think we have a chance to really do something. Like, because again, I think Superman has to be super high budget and Superman, but the rest of them, if you can keep the reason, like a Swamp Thing movie is going to have a reasonable budget in comparison to say what Marvel is, and it gives you a lot more leeway. I think there's some. I think the reason why that these movies are chosen is because they're not all gigantic blockbusters, right? There are things that are going to be a little quieter. Like Creature Commandos is an animated series.
Well, they wanted to start small, right? Because they have to. They don't have a choice. They're going to need to start small and then build up. And if they do it right, they'll have more money for the big blockbusters, like you're thinking.
Well, here's the thing, man, is that they if you don't make over $1 billion or $1.5 billion, you're labeled a failure.
It's true.
It's true. Oh, Don said, "Screw you guys, I'm out of here."
I didn't even talk about Rings of Power. What the fuck?
I know. I'm kind of bummed about that. I like Don.
But you're designated a failure if your movie doesn't crack out, $1.5 billion.
Which is insanity. But you're spending that kind of money. Like for 220 million. There, Don's back. You had 220 million in Black Adam, and that's not even including what you market it as. And then Dwayne tried to like overhaul everything and didn't really live up to his end of it. Like, I don't know.
And they asked him to be in other movies, like to promote, and he didn't want to be in them.
Sucks. Jason Todd is a terrible character.
I don't think the audience needs to know anything about Jason Todd.
No.
Sucks.
Which part of his life?
It's basically DC. It's basically New 52, then going DC. That's exactly what it is. But it's part of DC's kind of makeup. They've done post Crisis. We've done after what was the Time Crisis again? I can't remember what it's called.
Well, Armageddon.
Zero Hour, Armageddon.
0 Hour, yeah.
Final Crisis, Infinite Crisis. We're doing. We just came out of Dark Crisis with another Universal reset. It's just what they do. If Miller could be out, why we with a recast? Wait. Random Radio says Miller could be out with a recast to lead a Wally West play by Grant Gustin. I would like that.
Why not?
But they haven't introduced Wally West. I mean, we talk about Rebirth. He's like the crux of it all. Like the Flash remembering Wally West. We don't have any Wally West at all in any DCU.
No, it'll be Iris in this one. I imagine. I think.
Right. Yeah.
Gunn did say that Peacemaker is on hold.
Yeah. That's what Waller. But it makes sense to Waller. They can pick up the plot threads and just do the Waller show.
Yeah.
Random Ranger 7 says, "How about you make a superhero movie that doesn't look like the CW and keep the budget down?"
Easy. Very easy not to make a CW.
Only
movie.
Fox and Ron Reynolds can do that.
Since DC and all the big heads listen to our shows and make things happen, I just want to throw out here that I think that the perfect bridge for teenagers to adults would be Impulse. Instead of doing Wally West. And why not go younger? Why not do something a little different, funner? Impulse.
Well, that you're going into Young Justice, and I mean, they could do Young Justice. They could work their way up to that. That might be like second.
But make Impulse its own thing.
Impulse is great. They should do something with Impulse. But let's not T-bone Wally Wester. Wally West, kept that Flash fire burning. The things that everyone loves about Barry Allen actually came from Wally West.
Which version of Wally West? Are we talking about the good Wally, love-having Wally West from the 80s, or are we talking about the depressed emo Wally West?
We don't talk about Jeff Johns. We don't talk about Jeff Johns anymore. He's gone. No, we don't. It's gone. It's over. Wally is great. Mark Wade's
Wally West is the worst thing in comics. I hate it.
Mark Wade's Wally West is fantastic and should be a template for most comic book characters. Class List says the Creature Commandos and Waller prelude to the appetizer before Superman Legacy. That's the start of the DCU. Kinda. I mean, like I said, we have a soft start in the middle with the Flash, but yeah, look, we're gonna lead out with the Creature Commandos, which is a Suicide Squad spinoff, right? So it's not like we're starting from scratch and all this stuff. Like they're going. What they're doing is very DC. I don't know if people are going to understand.
What does that even mean anymore?
Well, it's very DC. Rebooting, because that's DC. When you reboot the universe, you don't reboot everything. You reboot some things and keep some things the same to make sure you really confuse your fan base.
And you make excuses for it. Yeah,
that's what you do.
That's like starting to build
a rebirth.
That's like starting to build a puzzle and then taking some pieces out and grabbing another puzzle and hoping those pieces fit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's DC.
That's what they do. You were right.
They weren't the only ones. Marvel did that after Secret Wars.
You are correct. Marvel, because Marvel got so old they couldn't keep clean continuity anymore. You can't keep continuity clean after like 50 years.
I do have a question too. Like they announced 5 movies and 5 shows, right? And I understand there's things in here that I know fans have been asking for a long time. One of the most obvious ones being Swamp Thing, another one being Booster Gold, and the Lanterns. Like those are things I think people definitely want. Does anyone want Paradise Lost or Waller? Like
this?
Yes, Waller. Yes, because Peacemaker was good. It's the same people that made Peacemaker. Sure. Paradise Lost, I'm not sold on.
I feel like they're trying to turn Waller into something he isn't in the DC Comics, though.
They're trying to turn her into Nick Fury.
Yeah. They're trying to turn
Paradise Lost sounds like Gotham, so.
But I'll give you one more. I mean, and I know this may be sacrilege. Who cares about Supergirl? I can't believe that's the 3rd movie that they're going to have, the Supergirl. They have a Superman, Batman, and Supergirl. Like, the mainstream don't care.
They could make
whatever.
If they do it right, she does have a good storyline. It's just that nobody's been able to do it right, or didn't do it at all, really. You know,
Did we ever
originals.
see? Did you guys see the movie from the
burn it
80s?
all down and start again.
Oh yeah, I have.
Oh yeah, let's do that movie next.
Yeah, Randy says Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I know.
Randy's bringing up Game of Thrones, like Paradise Lost is gonna be Game of Thrones with Wonder Woman. Yes, please. Here's the thing: Wonder Woman's not gonna be in it, and we already have Game of Thrones.
Yep.
On the same network. That's my qualm with this. Is like I could watch a show that's inspired by Game of Thrones, or I could watch either of the Game of Thrones shows that I know are already good. So I'm not. This one's like Paradise Lost. I'm like, I'm not sold on that one.
Super weird choice.
I am. Yeah, it is a weird choice. It's me. I swear, it's kind of like Krypton, or what?
Yeah.
Gotham was going to be originally. It's like let's do a prequel.
It was a little weird. It wasn't really great, but
like we're doing a prequel based in the world of these characters, but we're not going to have these characters. No one wants that. I'm sorry. Maybe maybe if it's like Star Wars where you built a strong world first and then you want to have other adventures outside of the main characters like Mandalorian. But like, I'm sorry,
we had 40 years. Like we had 40 years of accrued interest in that universe, right? Before we did
Star
that.
Wars, right? It's the ultimate untouchable. You're not gonna, sorry.
Yeah, I mean DC is different. Yeah,
DC if they want to go really outside the realm of whatever the norm that they're doing, give me a Dead Man show. Give me a Dial H for Murder. Give me I don't even know, like Infinity Man.
Like, static freaking shock, for crying out loud.
Michael Jai White, a Static Shock.
That's supposed to have been happening already, but yeah.
So Classy said, I think that it's going to be more Wonder Woman Astoria, the recent Wonder Woman book. I have not read it. Is it any good?
The Amazonians are not interesting. How are we going to base a show around the Amazonians?
Yeah, what do they do all day?
Wonder Woman, Diana is interesting. The other Amazons are not interesting.
Right, Randy said.
Okay, Randy, it lasted 5 seasons, but no one watched it.
What?
Yeah, wasn't it on like DC?
Look at Gotham. Look how long Gotham lasted.
Ooh. Yeah, but Gotham got good in the last 2 seasons. You just had to watch all the
how many people know that? You had to
Man, Drew is really going after you, JD.
I know he's trying to get a reaction out of me. He's going to keep poking the bear, but I'm not going to. I'm one. I'm Zen.
Yeah.
It's about me.
No, I agree. Like Paradise Lost, there's like literally like how many stories can you tell about a bunch of women trapped on a small island? I mean, like it that would be
it depends on what channel you're on.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, my wife watches a lot of shows
maybe
like
one
that.
Season.
Okay, look,
if you're on Pornhub, you can
in mainstream.
Okay,
in mainstream, for crying out loud.
They got these shows where people are about to get hitched. They ain't even seen each other yet.
Like I know we got to get to Buckaroo Banzai at some point, but like I just wanted to say, like, if there is any possibility that I can get Atrocitus and Larfleeze in a live action,
there you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Take my money. Take all of my money.
Yeah,
but you got to establish the Green Lanterns first.
We did with Ryan Reynolds, Mint Mobile Marathon 2022.
No.
Well, wait. They already
it happened.
They already did a series where they established the Green Lanterns and brought in the Red Lanterns and everything, and that was the Green Lantern animated show. Yeah, and that was brilliant.
It was really good.
I don't think you need a big origin for these.
I know, but it was so good.
We don't need a big origin. We're gonna it's gonna cover it in the Lantern show. It's gonna be the two cops investigating, and through that, we're gonna learn everything.
Right.
Yeah,
we don't need origin stories. Like,
but just to see Atrocitus on the screen,
I think we will eventually. I think we will.
Yeah, but do you introduce him before you introduce the Black Lanterns and
you have
Necron?
You have to. You have to introduce.
All right, let's
because you got to do the whole thing with Abin Sur and the. That's what they should do. That's what they should do. Is they should do the murder of Abin Sur. How did Abin Sur die?
Brilliant.
That should be the investigation they're doing, and then you discover. Atrocitus and the Black. That could be the big because they're saying there's
and the Yellow Lanterns and everybody
there could be
else.
the overarching story for the DCU is going to come out of Lanterns. It could be the Blackest Night.
That'd be really cool.
That sounds like a Phase 4 thing though. Like the Black Lanterns is a universe wide thing.
Yeah. Plus
that's what
everybody's
they're going
dead.
for. They're going for a universe wide thing. And
plus everybody's dead though. Aquaman, Batman.
We shot our load on the big universe Darkseid already. So where do you go? Like we already wasted Darkseid.
Well, that's non-canon now, right? After Flashpoint.
But it isn't non-canon. I mean, it's still there. Yeah, you got to do something else. And I think that the Blackest Night, excuse me, is something that is really cool. Like, I bust Jeff Johns, but I mean, that's like the work of his career is his run on Green Lantern, right? The Blackest Night story, the whole epic, like that entire run on Green Lantern is really good.
They need to start the Brave and the Bold with them finding a little happy face pin in the wall.
I don't know. I think DC should have taken my idea and just started from the outer universe and then worked in. I've said that on the show before. Start with the Green Lanterns out there in space and then bring it in.
Classy said, I think it's going political. The Greek gods, the behind the scenes of the island, each Amazonian stabbing each other in the back.
But that's not what the Amazons
Game
were
of
like.
Thrones, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's not the way that, I mean, what is it they doing when they started, when they became the Amazons? Maybe I could see it then, but
I think that's what they're doing.
The way...
That's what they're doing. They're doing there's prequel to Wonder Woman, which again, another reason why I don't think I care. Like, we already have this show and it's really good. I just want to watch that show. You know, Drew agrees with me. Wow. Thanks.
I think he's only agreeing with you so that you'll mention his name.
Oh, that's good strategy, actually. Glassy says Lanterns is very important. That show will lead up to the big bad. I think. Yeah, I read that too. That's what I was thinking. It could actually be. It could actually be Necron, the Black Knights. It could be Atrocitus. It could be Sinestro. Like using Lanterns specifically for that leads me to believe we'll tap into the color cores. I could be wrong, but I think that's where we're going. I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
Especially using Swamp Thing too, because Swamp Thing's connected to the green and the red.
He also becomes a White Lantern.
It's all there. Good. Sorry,
I wish they would continue the Swamp Thing series because that was actually very good.
It was
the one that they canceled before they even showed it.
Yeah.
I will say this: I don't think we can judge anything until we start seeing something that's produced from these shows.
Dave, we have a podcast, sir. If we don't judge what hasn't come out yet, what else are we going to do?
But I'm going to ask.
We're going to sit around, talk around Buckaroo Banzai.
Let's go around the room. There's 5 of us here. There's 10 projects announced. Everyone, tell me what you are most excited to see from this announced DC slate.
Lanterns.
I was going to say, okay, Jamie, you want first? Lanterns.
I'll take any chance I can get Atrocitus and Larfleeze. I'm sorry. Keith
Okay,
Giffen
John?
was a genius.
I think Booster Gold. I'd be very interested to see what they do. If they do that right, he'll be in the top. You know, he'll be like part of the Justice League. Like it'll make that more interesting.
That would be Legends of Tomorrow, just updated.
That's exactly
with one legend screwing up the timeline and going back.
Well, no, but he doesn't see. That's not his characterization. He doesn't screw things up. He goes and fixes them, and he's got this heroic side to him that nobody almost ever sees. Like most of the time, things get screwed up. People are dying left and right. He goes and fixes it. Nobody remembers what he did, and it's a really good hook into a very it's a hook into a very good show about his personality and why he's a goofball in front of everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
Don?
I want to say Swamp Thing, actually, to be honest with you. I'm a big Swamp Thing fan. Remember, there was a cartoon that only had like 5 episodes. I remember being so mad as a kid that didn't continue. I had the toys and everything. So yeah, I mean, Superman's cool, Batman's cool, but I don't care about Supergirl, sorry, but the Swamp Thing stuff, the Alan Moore, all that's gonna be awesome.
Can I address random Randy Savage's message here?
Sure.
He said Booster Gold is going to be hard to do without an established timeline. Incorrect, sir. That show can be 100% fan service for people like us in this room right now.
True, because he's continually rewriting the timeline by fixing things that go wrong. Yeah. So it's almost like a constant what if. It's awesome.
Exactly. Perfect.
That's true. That's a good way to describe it, John.
Yeah, and I actually am going to I'm going to agree with John. I think Booster Gold is the most interesting one. I think it's going to be very different.
That's the first time that's happened.
Wow.
If it's done right, it's going to be something very different than what we're used to from superhero stuff, and it'll be a breath of fresh air from the superhero genre, I think. So
on this day of the year of our Lord 2023,
February the 5th, write it in stone.
Presley says Batman Brave and Bold for them. Or
That's
him.
gonna be
see,
great.
I can see that though. Yeah.
That's going to be great. I'm excited for that one too. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of
We
potential.
are,
man.
Yeah.
So Randy wants us to get to the fifth dimension. So we're going to take a quick commercial break
The
and
eighth
be right
dimension.
back with our main topic.
Hey, Spidey, isn't Marvel's new Pizzazz magazine fantastic? Fantastic, but not perfect. But Pizzazz has the lowdown on Jaws, too, and more Sean Cassidy picks than his mother. It's sensational. Sensational, but not perfect. How about Pizzazz's Goofy Guide to TV? It's wild look at sci-fi movies. It's games, puzzles, comics. What could be more perfect? Me on the cover. Not the Hulk. Pizzazz, the almost perfect new monthly from the off-the-wall gang at Marvel Comics.
I had a Sean Cassidy joke I was going to make, and then I realized, wait, we watched this show. I did that last week because we watched that commercial last week.
Oh my God, we lost both Don and Ray during the commercial break.
Longer commercials, Dave. That's what this is telling
Longer
us.
commercials?
We need potty breaks.
Yeah, the commercial thing is like, hurry up, go, do what you got to do, but
I
you
said
don't
a
know
bad
how.
pres-
But you don't know how long you have to do it for.
I set a bad precedent.
You did.
Yes.
I was thirsty.
No more.
If you ever
Anyway,
watch the Majority Report, they have a really nice long commercial break between the regular half and then what they call the fun half. And that's what we need.
Yes.
Marky
All right.
Mark is looking forward to Superman Legacy.
Even though we didn't like Brightburn.
I love Brightburn.
I like Brightburn.
Can we cover
Randy's-
Brightburn one time? Can we?
Okay.
Randy's also Superman Legacy.
That's a hard
and
one for me.
You're not done with the Superman evil parody shit?
DC's
Yeah.
not?
We all have to listen to John a bit more from Frosty.
Get out of
He's
here.
he's
You're a
an
troll.
O'Grady fan. He's a
You are
troll.
a troll.
Frosty actually sent a message to us on Twitter. I completely forgot.
How do you forget
Basically,
that?
was saying like he thinks there's no hard feelings over those comments, but also said that his point was that he feels like you talk over John sometimes, and we don't listen to John enough.
We talk over you all the time.
You have
Dave.
a
We
fan,
run the
John.
show here.
But
John's
that's
too
what I
nice
am.
sometimes.
I'm the was it the comedy here, so it's all I'm good for. It's all good.
Well, no, because they
John
brought up the
Journey?
anime stuff, and you told them, you're like, hey, this is going to be a problem. And they're like, no, this is ridiculous. This is not going to be a problem. It's fine. And then you were right.
It's becoming a
so-
problem. Yeah.
Pause for
All
a
right.
second. John, is your name Senor Big Booty?
Big booty, yeah.
Senior big
Just
booty.
like, we'll talk about that later.
Senior
All right,
big
so-
booty correspondent.
I respect
John
We are
Big
at the main
Booty.
topic time, guys.
Booty.
Of course, we're
Booty.
talking about this week. We're talking about the Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the eighth dimension. A 1984 film starring
Peter Weller.
Peter Weller,
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd,
John
Oh my
Lithgow.
God, all sorts of
Lithgow.
Carla's
Jeff
husband
Goldblum.
and
Jeff
Cheers.
Goldblum, like a lot of big hitters,
Okay.
especially in the 80s.
Okay,
Carl
if any
Goldblum.
at any point any of you can ask me for a random factoid. I have like a whole bunch of notes here of random factoids about this movie. So just ask me and I'll give you one
All right. So first off,
at any time.
I'm not sure who had seen this movie before today. So you, John, Ray, and me have seen this movie.
We're veterans.
Don and JD have never seen this movie before watching it for the podcast.
I think I saw this right after I saw Akira. So like,
Akira.
So we'll start with the virgins. Don, what did you think after you saw this movie?
After I'd seen the movie, my immediate thought was, did I just do hard drugs? No, I did not.
then just lots of soft drugs.
That was my thought after I seen this movie. But no, you know what? I'd heard about this movie and its craziness on another podcast, Mr. Sunday Movies. You may have heard of it. Wow. And but I'd never seen it before. So I sit down, I watch this movie, and it's it's a half hour into it before you understand what they're doing. You're like, are they fucking serious?
I know, right?
They drove through a mountain, bro.
Oh, okay. No. They understand what they're doing here. It's like they looked at Star Wars and said,
mountain.
Right.
No, technically he didn't go through the mountain. He just existed in the same space.
Yes, but in another dimension.
Science, bitches.
You know what? The writing's not horrible. I'll give it that. Like, it's not horrible at all. So
It's super imaginative, right? Like there's a lot going on in this movie. It almost felt like segmented to the point where it felt like they wanted to do a TV show because it feels like there's 3 or 4 different movies going on.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a lot. There's just a lot going.
That was one of the
happening.
problems when they were shopping it around to actually getting somebody to produce it. Yeah.
It's hard. It's a little hard to follow. Right?
The way I would describe it to somebody who's never seen it before, it's like being dropped into the 150th episode of a comic book run.
Yeah.
150th issue of a comic book run where you don't have any familiarity with the previous issues.
It's like picking up the next one.
But they do a decent job of taking the first 15 minutes and selling to you. Buckaroo Banzai is good at everything that he does, no matter what it is. He's an amalgamation of Marty McFly, Bruce Wayne,
Doctor Who,
James Bond,
Doc
Doctor
Savage.
Who,
Doc Savage, yeah.
Yeah.
He is every like superhero archetype outside of Superman all rolled into one. And they take the first 15 minutes to just explain to you this motherfucker can do whatever he wants. You know, the president, consults him. So, and that's all. That's all they go into his origin.
Calls him directly on the payphone.
Yeah. To answer Randy Savage, Marvel did 2 comic books for the movie.
Yeah, it was
and
promotional
then
material.
And then there was in 2016, I think there was another comic book shop that did a couple of the books that actually was it the placard at the end of this movie said, coming soon. I forget what it was, Against the Crime Syndicate, I think it was. And they did that. But I don't know that it lasted that long.
No, it was promotional material. Marvel did that a lot back in the day.
Well, the first 2 were promotional material, but the ones in 2016 were somebody trying to continue the
It sounds something Boom would do.
This is a movie that feels way ahead
Ray,
of its time.
Yes,
it was.
I agree.
It was.
Like I think
Ray,
today,
did you feel it held up?
Huh?
Do you feel it held up when you watched it?
Absolutely. I absolutely love Buckaroo Banzai. It holds up just fine for me, man. I love the craziness and the zaniness. It's a breath of fresh air in a 2023 where everything is dark and gritty like DC movies.
It's true. It's not dark and gritty.
Sometimes you need that little bit of zane. Sorry.
It is. Zany is a good word for it. Like it's like I said, it's super ambitious and a bit camp, but like it's so 1984.
But it would have
It is.
You can't
It's
play
very
Buckaroo.
1984.
You can't play Buckaroo Banzai straight faced.
No, you can't.
And even though Peter Weller is stone faced as an actor,
The whole fucking time.
Yep.
It's so funny.
But he did such a good job. Like
He did.
Weller.
He's like the only person in the movie that's taking it completely fucking serious.
Jeff
who
Goldblum is a
else could have
cowboy.
who else could have been a cowboy and a genius at the same time, right?
Jeff
Is that
Goldblum.
what you're gonna say, Ray?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That was Jeff Goldblum. I like to think that he walks around in those chaps with the cowboy outfit to this day.
That is
It
one of
really
those
was
things
like
that
they
is
just
like
took him and put him in the
such-
movie.
There are so
React how
many
you want.
little weird things that happen in this movie that
So many weird things.
that seem out of left field that make absolutely no sense.
Okay.
Which again,
Why would
the
they pick a
song-
Ford F-350 pickup truck for the for the interdimensional time traveling vehicle?
wait, of all the things
it was
that go
cheap.
on in this movie, that's your complaint? That they used a
That
Ford?
was when I first sat down and watched it. I saw
Chevy? Goddamn
it's a Ford F-350. I'm thinking, okay, if they use a DeLorean, this might be taking the place of whatever the fuck that movie is. I'm sorry that I can't remember it. Back to the Future. There we go. I just thought it was a very poor
it's
choice.
not really a time travel.
Well, wait.
Right, I get it.
The thing is that the writer for Back to the Future, the flux capacitor, was actually inspired a little bit by this, This movie introduced one of the most iconic pieces of science fiction technology ever spoken of, and that includes stuff like a TARDIS, lightsabers, the impossibility drive, the flux capacitor.
Yeah.
This introduced the oscillation overthruster. And if you look at one of the scenes, you can see that the three-pointed triangle.
Oh yeah.
And that inspired the flux capacitor design.
Yes,
which
Randy.
makes time travel possible.
Right.
Yes, the overthrust.
But that's one of the things I love too is the overthruster is such a like comic booky thing to call it. Like,
oh yeah,
oscillation
it's
overthruster.
not sciencey.
It's the best porn name I've ever heard.
It's very reverse the polarity, right?
Yeah.
It says nothing with it says something. It says a lot without saying anything.
Well, this whole thing was schlocky.
Perfect.
Like,
God,
perfect
yeah.
schlock. Perfect
Yes.
schlock. Good
But
schlock.
it's like, again, I think this is so far ahead of its time where it's like they wanted to do so much.
Yeah.
With such a little time. It's like now this would be great because like everything is a franchise, right? Everything is lots of things. This just it was too big of an idea
Randy.
to just be a movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
she does.
for sure.
So I'll read it. When Randy, no, I can't read it. Dave took it up. Never mind.
Sorry, wait. I'll put it back. I'll put it back.
That's what she said.
Well, never
What
mind.
happened?
I don't know. Randy Savage said, when he asks her to hold his overthruster, yeah, she does. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I don't know how much I actually liked this movie though.
Really?
Like, I didn't hate it by any stretch of the imagination, but it was just like I felt like it was too unfocused.
So hold on, let me get this straight real quick,
Please,
Dave.
yeah.
So John and Dave are on the same page, but me and JD are off. This is the parallel fucking eighth dimension.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
You guys agree with each other for once. You guys are on the same side. And Ray and I are usually like simpatico, and today we're just kind of like it's the opposite. It's opposite day. I don't hate it. I just think it's like from a character standpoint, I think it's hard to have a character who's awesome at everything and have them be relatable or just like easy to like identify with what they're going through. That's true.
Right.
So that to me is always like I have a hard time with that. And
well,
then,
that's
like,
why they introduced it as his dead wife and your sister,
yeah,
which
it just happens to be. She looks familiar. Oh yeah, she's the identical twin of my dead wife. What? Like, there's just
look, I've got a spare.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
It is very weird that you just have to accept that he's good at fucking everything. And I don't know. See, I find this movie to be kind of progressive, to be completely honest with you. Here's Buckaroo Banzai, and he's in this sequence where he's in this band where, by the way, oh my God, white people in the way we used to dance in 1984.
I've already made apologies on Cult 45 podcasts about white people dancing.
Like, this is where Carlton got his dance from, ladies and gentlemen. If that's a funny dance. No, he got it right from here. This is the movie he watched right before that particular actor came up with that dance.
This seems like the kind of movie that Carlton would watch. It
really does.
But in all of that, Buckaroo Banzai is the coolest fucking thing. He's in this band, and then he's focusing on this troubled lady. I don't know. Like, that's why the character's kind of endearing to me. He's like cool at everything he does. He's super awesome, super smart. But here he is, and he notices the little person, the person that's struggling. Like, I don't know.
The person who looks just like his dead wife.
Is somebody crying in the audience? Someone not having a good time?
Is that the same actor that's in RoboCop?
Peter Weller.
Okay, all right. No.
Do you know what he does? Do you know what he does now?
I'm sorry, the actress.
Wait,
girl.
hold on.
Is she his partner in RoboCop? Okay. No. I'm getting my 1980s short-haired blonde
That was
ladies.
Nancy Allen, who was in Carrie.
Gotcha.
She was the villain in Carrie.
Right, but this is the reason that he got RoboCop was
Yeah.
because of this movie.
Companions that are completely out of it.
This movie needed what Doctor Who has companions that are completely out of it. Yeah, he's right. You know, if you watch Doctor Who, you got a lot of weird companions. Is he like for us? Is he like Doctor Who? To that, I'll say kinda.
He's kind of a know-it-all. He is a scientist. He's also a guidance counselor, a grief counselor.
There's so many
a
guys.
musician,
and a rock legend, yeah.
a rocket scientist,
a neurosurgeon,
an interdimensional
Plus the
test
amount of
pilot.
guns in that bar.
That's why John's right. Like they're saying he's like Doc. He is like Doc Savage. Like that's the closest comparison you can make to him is Doc Savage, because Doc Savage was also awesome at everything.
Yeah. Right down to this is a take on the 1950s serials.
Very
right?
much.
Yeah.
Very much.
Like
that's Rastafarians as aliens.
Weird, man.
Could have been worse. Could have been Pastafarians, but you know.
Yeah, the inspiration for this movie was definitely like serials from the 40s and 50s and comic books, and it was like smash them together, and here's what you get.
And that's fine
without having the rights to any comic.
That's called a melting pot, Dave. That's called America. Are you a terrorist, Dave? No, you are not a terrorist. You are an American. Be proud.
Oh, okay. So
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I just said that's
America is Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, this is America.
That's why a lot of countries hate us.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's. I mean, shoot down weather balloons and everything.
Here's one of my random factoids, and then you can go down. It's like W.D. Richter, the director. He before this he directed Invasion of the Body Snatchers in 1978, but after this he co-wrote Big Trouble in Little China.
Did he really?
Yes.
This definitely does have a vibe like that.
Yes, it's this movie seems like the basis for every 80s action flick that came out afterward.
I think the issue is I don't think this guy was a great director. I think he's a good writer, but I don't think he can keep it together. Whereas like a Carpenter can keep, because it does have a lot of the same kind of vibe, but Big Trouble in Little China is a
little
lot
bit of the
more,
same humor too, in a way.
Very much.
Mm-hmm.
But Big Trouble in Little China is a lot more focused.
Yep.
So here's an interesting fact for you guys. Jamie Lee Curtis was actually originally in this movie.
Was she the woman?
No. So the original, and you can find the scene online.
This
originally, it wasn't going to start with that text scroll that explains who Buckaroo Banzai is.
Very
it was going to start with a flashback of him as a kid watching his parents get into that accident that killed them.
Mm-hmm.
And the mother was played by Jamie Lee Curtis.
Cool.
And
that adds
those
nothing
scenes
to this movie.
Those scenes stick out. Like those scenes actually exist. You can go find them. They released them.
And that was the other thing is like the doctor. I can't think of his name. That helps him build the thruster.
The Japanese guy. That's not his father, even though his father's Japanese.
Dr.
But
Banzai.
he's working with them. So like basically, okay, that builds a relationship between the two of them. That makes sense. Why
it's too much though.
Why he risked everything to go save him. But that's the whole thing. And that's the like, I wonder, would the movie made a little more sense if they had left that scene in? And
but the point is this,
it's more endearing that they didn't.
But that's the other thing is like there's no character development whatsoever in this movie.
Not for him. He's just good at everything he fucking does, and that's all
that would have been
it.
character development.
But
this is where it has the same. Sorry, John, I ran over you there. But I think we're on the same. I think we're on the same path with this. And this is how it's similar to Big Trouble in Little China, because there's absolutely no character development from anyone in that story too.
Yeah.
Like, but that kind of works a little bit when you've got a character like a Jack Burton, who, from John Carpenter's own words, is the sidekick who thinks he's the protagonist, right? Whereas Buckaroo Banzai actually is the protagonist. You know, and it's just like I said, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. I just think it's like this is like a cinematic ADHD, quite frankly. This movie wants to be so much stuff.
Randy's right. In 1984, this would have been an awesome TV pilot.
He's right.
This would have set up a TV show in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It would have worked.
Could now.
Yeah.
You could use this now as a TV pilot.
And by the way, let's also make sure that people that are listening, like this movie is one. We didn't even do a proper introduction of it. This movie is like one of the pillars of nerddom. Like when they did promotions, they gave out headbands for Buckaroo Banzai.
It's so cool.
And like most people threw them away because they're just like Buckaroo Banzai didn't even make. It didn't even make back its budget.
It didn't make back its budget. It was a box office bomb.
Right, but those headbands now are going for thousands of dollars, and we're talking a cast with Peter Weller, John Lithgow, Ellen Barkin at the height of her career, Christopher Lloyd, Rosalind Cash,
the guy
Clancy
from
Brown.
Ghost is
Carl Lumley and Vincent Schiavelli. Like just the cast goes on and on.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, and Jeff Goldblum, right? Yeah.
Here's an issue though: is that it comes out in 1984. Think about the pop culture movies that come out in that specific year. You're talking Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Temple of Doom.
Yeah. Yes,
like it's a huge pop culture.
By the way,
it just got swallowed up.
By the way, Jeff Goldblum would have played Egon, but he turned that down to be in this movie.
Wow!
Wow!
I didn't know that.
I don't think Ghostbusters work without Harold Ramis.
No, I agree.
No, it wouldn't have. Right? You're absolutely right.
They also offered Eddie Murphy the part of Winston, and that's just like I can't imagine.
No.
Yeah,
different
he
movie.
took that shit over.
No.
Yes.
Just going to prove it, that movie was lightning in a bottle. Sorry, go ahead, David.
So yeah, I mean, and there's so many little weird things about this movie. Like, here's one of the things I completely forgot about. Two things I completely forgot about rewatching this. One, the movie starts out with him doing brain surgery.
Yep.
Right. With Jeff Goldblum.
No explanation, no nothing. He's doing brain surgery, and then he has to run off to the desert to get into the rocket car to go through the mountain. And it's like,
what's the problem here?
He's Doogie Howser.
Saying, like,
now he's
so
Maverick.
Weird, like,
why is it weird? Makes perfect sense.
Scheduled them a little bit further apart.
He can do it. He's Buckaroo Banzai. He can do it.
Yep.
And
he can leave brain surgery and go into another dimension. No problem.
The other thing I completely
heard
forgot
this,
about. The other thing I completely forgot about was, why is the president in a hospital in traction? Like,
right, there's no explanation.
I was thinking about that today. Go ahead. I'm sorry, John.
No. It's like this is the point, though. It's like the first John Wick movie. Everything's in flight. You have to figure out things as you go along. But they were looking to use this as a jumping off point. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, no, as far as the president, like I was thinking today, like why was like his back broken? Like there was never really no reason to have him in that contraption that he was in.
Again, it feels
because it's all to build up Buckaroo Banzai.
Well, no, but that
to me,
feels
it's like the
like
president
that's
is
something that happened in a
spineless.
previous adventure, and it's just in the story.
That's a good
like
one.
There's, Marky Mark has a good thing here, and this is true because I listened to Kevin Smith's podcast. He was trying to get this made into a TV series for years, but no one would pick it up.
Because it's not a very well-known property.
I don't know. The cast made this
classic,
movie a lot for me.
Yeah,
I never heard that before. I honestly
has a lot of
never did.
hobbies.
I would have loved this as a kid. Like all the science shit. Like I'm really surprised I've never seen this before.
It's
That's
just
one bad MF.
It just got swallowed up. Like I said, it just got swallowed up in a Karate Kid. Like there's so many massive movies that come out in 1984. It's just wrong place, wrong time. Honestly, if this comes out in 1983, this might be a different story.
Same year as Jedi, right?
That's
I love this movie. Like, don't get me wrong. This is again one of my favorites too. But if you're in that time, because I didn't see this movie until years after it was on video. 1984. Like, is there anything to latch on into this movie to make you like, oh yeah, I really want to see another one of these, right? Like, there's no underdog story.
No.
There's no
story. There's no story. That's the problem. It's just a bunch of things that happen to Buckaroo Banzai.
That's it.
And it's funny shit. Like
I'm
not an easy laugher, but some of these fucking jokes and these lines,
and they weren't like really jokes too. It was just
they were
played
playing
straight.
it so straight.
Yeah.
But it was funny as hell. Like that guy died. He's fucking dying. He's like, "We're on the clock, boys." Like, I don't know why.
Well, some of the quotes are like very famous geek quotes, like "No matter where you go, there you are."
There you are. Yeah,
like
yeah.
the deuce, you say. Like there's so many different quotes out of this that just.
That's because Buckaroo Banzai is the coolest motherfucker that has ever lived, and they want you to know it. That's the whole
all the
point.
sub characters though. Like every time one of those characters tells another character something to do, they completely fucking ignore it and do the opposite.
Buckaroo Banzai's fan club is his security.
Jeez.
Here's another interesting factoid for you. There was a belief among the crew and the cast that the director was not paying attention to the dailies. So
I buy that.
in the scene where they're going through their base and they go and there's that compression machine and there's a watermelon sitting in there.
Oh, right. Yeah, the watermelon.
And Jeff Goldblum goes, "Why is there a watermelon there?" And the other guy goes, "I'll tell you about it later." They did that on purpose. The cast did that on purpose to see if the director would say anything.
Yeah, two of the greatest mysteries in all of science fiction: the watermelon and the 3 seashells.
That's not
now,
a
this
mystery
has
to me.
to be one of the first movies that ever features anyone hacking the internet because it didn't exist back then.
Yeah,
but they certainly did that.
Well, the internet's been around.
Yeah,
since
this is
like,
true.
1976. It just wasn't.
Sure.
It just wasn't rolled out to the public until.
But they're not connected to modems. There's not an actual.
The government is, and Buckaroo
net,
had
yes.
connections to the Pentagon.
You're right.
in 84,
He overrid the president.
That's right.
In 84, you had acoustic couplers. Like you would
Right.
not have had any way of connecting to the internet on a, like they didn't have cell phones yet. They had, I think those were invented only a couple of years after that. So like this was like very weird to have that kind of setup.
This is very
movie,
weird.
It was very weird. This movie features the most like irresponsible parent I've ever seen in movies. I think,
and in the 80s, that's really saying something.
The helicopter pilot and his kid.
Yeah.
Hey, he's part of the fan club.
They saved Buckaroo, man.
They saved Buckaroo.
Yeah,
They
no,
did.
there's legit character moments there. The fucking kids running around with a guy, fucking 12 gauge.
Well, this was very NRA positive. I mean, look at it. It had the best portrayal of first
Very
contact
pro-Second
I've ever
Amendment.
seen. The spaceship comes over, and the first thing that happens is a couple of yokels hunting start shooting at the damn thing.
Yeah.
And they shoot it down.
Yep.
So
that is what first contact's going to be.
Like a Chinese weather balloon.
Oh,
So
God.
Randy, you
Went
were
down
asking
like a
about
Chinese
what
weather
about
balloon.
scanners?
Just watch
I think
Batman
you're-
to figure that out.
Scanners.
I think that question is fitting into the nerd.
Oh, true.
Nerdum. I don't know.
Scanners is
I
one
rate
of the
this movie
nerd
higher
dumb
than-
things. Just
Scanners
We've all
just that
tried to
one-
scan people. A teacher that gave you.
What
an
about
F.
when they get the message from the aliens and they have to put like those wraps on their face?
Yeah, to see the message.
Yes.
This thing
Bubble
was
wrap.
just
The
so
bubble
weird.
wrap.
The bubble wrap, it just looked like they just got like construction paper and some tape and just made mask out of it.
And it's a
Yeah.
Rastafarian lady. Like
In-
this movie's very
in-
progressive, by the way. It's so
Oh, hacking the
In
internet
regards to
timeline?
hacking the internet.
Yeah, when was
I don't
Scanners?
remember that.
Same about
I
your. I
remember
think
that.
Scanners was about 84-ish.
82, I think. Type it up,
82.
boys. I think it was 82.
1981, it says.
Damn!
All right.
Pretty good.
So,
pretty good
Wow.
guess, right?
but again, that was back in the time when there were just bulletin boards. Like DARPANet was around maybe, but like nobody knew about it. Like there's really nothing on it at the time. So
I don't know what you're talking about now. So
IP addresses didn't exist.
DARPA was the government agency that actually invented.
Apparently, John is the Buckaroo Banzai of this show.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Buckaroo
just
O'Grady.
Buckaroo Grady.
Buckaroo Grady. New episode title, Dave. You're gonna have to change it.
oh God.
Got to Photoshop John's head onto Buckaroo Banzai.
Buckaroo Grady. All right.
Look, you
anyway.
got to remember, Tim Berners-Lee is the one who invented the internet, and his proposal came around in 1989. So again, like back then, this like them hacking a network in this is actually prescient. So
Anyway,
Prussian?
how do we
Prussian.
wrap this up? Okay, so let's just there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in this movie.
Tons. So much.
There is
crazy.
no real story. Buckaroo stops the aliens from the 8th dimension from destroying the Earth.
Did you see the trailer? Did you guys see
There's
the trailer? for this
absolutely
movie?
a story to this. I cannot let that comment stand. There's absolutely a story to this movie.
Do you think?
Yes.
Buckaroo is the story. Everything
There's
else
these
revolves
aliens.
around Buckaroo.
There's white aliens who seek to rule the planet. Then there's the black Rastafarian aliens.
Oh
who are
my
gonna be
God.
suffocated if the white
The
aliens
Rastafarians.
prevail. So the white aliens have been entrapped in the 8th dimension. And so Buckaroo Banzai has been accessing that 8th dimension, which is causing trouble. So that's why the aliens are paying attention to Buckaroo Banzai. So that's the conflict. They have to start. The one played by Christopher Lloyd with the bad teeth and bad accent
who was basically playing like Lenin.
You mean
or
John,
Hitler?
John Lithgow.
I'm gonna let you finish, Don. Are you done?
I mean, that's it.
You're trying real hard. I appreciate
prevents the white aliens
trying
from
to
being
be a
able to take over the black aliens' planet. Or they're both their planets, but the whites want to take over the blacks, which, let's face it.
One more time, you can get clipped way out of context in this episode.
Hey, there was one comment during the thing. I think the president's like, "There's a race war." It's like they were really playing. They were really remember that.
They knew
they were really
doing.
playing it up.
100%.
You know? Yeah. There's a race war in New Jersey. There is among the aliens. It's like,
again, this is a movie that I think could be made today. It would just be different.
Yeah. It's not exactly Blazing Saddles, but it's not. It's not quite safe.
But it's not exactly Blazing Saddles either.
Yeah.
You know? This is why it's a cult classic. I mean, like, there's a lot of fun stuff in it, but just overall, I just think the highlight clip is going to be Dicey's. Like, we're treading on some.
Thanks, Randy.
Really sticky ground this week. I just think that there's. I think the ideas are there for something good. I think a better director would have found us a more cohesive story.
Or how about you mourn after 2 of your teammates have been murdered?
They're fine. Collateral.
Two of the main teammates. But the point of this movie was the reason why it's a cult classic is because it was so weird and
being weird doesn't justify it as a cult classic.
Yeah, I know, but
it's
like
different.
It is
not what you
it's different than anything else out there.
There's nothing. You're right. There was nothing like this movie.
Yeah, it was the first one that every time a movie showed like alien technology, they had to spend a lot of money on the budget and make the ships look cool and everything. This, they just took some cardboard and mashed it together and alien ships. And they made that a feature of the aliens. It's like, that's the alien aesthetic is non-asymmetric ships,
Yeah, that one alien
asymmetric
ship was smoking that nobody cared about, and the spaceship looked the same.
It's a weird movie.
So they saved some money on that, but it still made it stand out, And
then the weirdest thing in this movie is the end with the trope
not the
of
black
he
helicopter
brings the
pilot
girl
and his
back
son.
to life with a kiss.
Yeah,
that's
a MacGuffin. That's a
that is like
with the electricity. Well, they were kind of hinting at the aliens were giving him they were shooting the electricity through him to help out.
They ionized
it. It was really
when
weird.
They ionized
them,
and then see the aliens for what they really were. That was
because that's what happens when you ionize a human being. They just give off static electricity.
That would inspire They Live.
Oh
When he
yeah,
puts the glasses on. He sees the creatures for what they really are.
I think this is another one of those weird movies. There is influences in a lot of other movies going forward that people don't realize is there. So
yeah.
So John, you said you had a lot of factoids. Here's the question I have that I must have answered.
Mm-hmm.
Were they serious at first and then just decided, okay, no, this isn't going to work, so we're going to go schlocky? Like
the guy that wrote this movie had been trying to write the story of Buckaroo Banzai for years, and he was throwing out scripts left and right after only I think what I read was that after like 30 pages he would throw the script out, and he threw out tens of scripts before they finally got to the point where they found some financing, and then the director helped finish writing this script.
So he sounds like he should be working for DC, is what you're saying.
Kind of.
Probably. Yeah. So, but they were serious. They were serious about it. It's just,
I think it was a limit to how serious they
concept.
could be. I think they worked around the budget that they had, and the guy had bigger dreams than the budget could provide.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
So
I think Don has a good point though, because there's things about this movie like it feels like they're trying to play it very earnest and be very serious, and then there are things about this movie it's like comes off as they're trying to be funny. Your handle, John, is one of those. Like the aliens are all John with some weird last name, like
Big
Booty,
John.
small Berries
Small
was one-
Berries. Yeah, John Smallberries is the one.
Big Small Berries, Big Booty. What was it, John Carpenter or no?
Big
what was
Boutte,
it?
damn it.
Yeah.
So, like, it's tough to say, like, do they know what they're making and they're trying to be funny, or are they?
Yes.
But that's the thing; they played it so straight that it was funny. You know,
Yes.
even parts that they didn't think
It's
was
got-
going to be funny, it turned out funny because it
To
was
me,
so
it's
straight.
the same kind of like magic from like Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Like they're playing
Yeah.
it straight and they know that it's schlocky and that's where the humor comes from.
No,
Yeah.
Sam Raimi kind of knew he was doing schlocky from the jump. The
Yeah.
movie that he wanted to make.
I mean, they call the zombies Shep. They're all
Yeah.
Sheps.
Yeah, they're all
you know?
Shep.
Yeah.
So I mean, like he's fully aware that, and there's like, it's
Well, they
one
called
step
all
up
the
from
aliens John
Stooges.
Big Bouttes or John whatever. his
Yeah,
name is.
they did. I mean,
they tried to inject humor, but
The
most
entire
humorous parts
town
were
was
the
named
straight
John.
parts.
it's weird,
Yeah.
man. It's a weird movie. Like
John O'Grady.
Oh, and then
Yeah.
the tie-in with Orson Welles.
O'Grady.
O'Grady.
Like that was a weird thing too. That weird poll that tied in with the Orson Welles invasion
This whole thing is
War of the
weird.
Worlds broadcast. Yeah,
That was kind of brilliant, though. That was kind of cool. You know,
I don't know. I kind of want to see this redone. To be honest with you, I would love to see someone else get a crack at this.
It's
All
never
right.
going to happen. It's never going to happen because there's no way we can make them. Like, if this ever happens, we're going to get a whole big fucking origin, and that's to me part of the charm of this movie is that they really do just say, "Here's Buckaroo Banzai. He's good at fucking everything. Here we go.
Deal with it."
I think like Taika Waititi could do this movie. I really do.
I don't know about Taika Waititi. Like,
You don't think
he's
so?
Not Unchained. If he had some boundaries, he could probably do a good job on it. But lately they've been giving him free reign.
Well,
and
I
that's
think
not
that's
helping
the
him.
boundary of using the original story and just updating it slightly. I think that's the boundary.
And by the way, one of the comments was from M. Ray's Guns. Kevin Smith tried for years to get a Buckaroo Banzai TV show off the ground, and he couldn't yet. Yeah, I know, but it's
I
like,
already mentioned
Edgar
it.
Wright.
But Kevin Smith wouldn't. I don't think he would be good for this either. It's like
He's a writer.
His humor doesn't
No.
match Buckaroo Banzai's humor at all.
No,
Yeah.
it's he's more
I
guttural.
think Randy's right. Edgar Wright would be a great pick.
Edgar Wright's a really good call. It's good thinking,
Yeah.
Randy.
Hmm.
I like that.
Maybe as a writer,
All
maybe
right.
not a director, or maybe
Who
as a
could
director.
play-
I'm sorry, maybe a director, not a writer.
Who could play Buckaroo Banzai in 2020?
it has to be somebody who would
Peter
just do it
fucking Weller.
Keanu
completely
Reeves.
serious.
Peter Weller.
Peter
Weller
Weller's
could-
teaching. You know, he teaches history at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know he was the voice of Batman in The Dark Knight Returns, and he did
Yes, I
an
did.
amazing job?
Yes, he did.
No. Seriously, like you'd have to get someone who's younger.
Who's willing to do it completely straight, though?
That's the whole thing, right? It has to be somebody
You know,
you know that can
it's not
play it
even tongue in
straight.
cheek. It's like they have to
Austin
do
Butler.
it like completely
I know.
honestly. What?
Austin Butler.
Hmm.
Timothy Monetary. or whatever you spell it.
Monterey.
Maybe Tom Holland.
And
I don't want to
No.
say it. I don't
See,
wanna,
the thing is, the
I don't
reason why
want
they
to say it, but I think that it would work.
What's that?
Unfortunately,
What?
Chris Pratt. I think
Yeah,
Chris
I
Pratt
agree.
would be
I
a really
agree.
good
I agree.
Buckaroo Banzai.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I know. He's
No,
yeah,
he's-
no, that
he-
might
I think
be
he could
right.
play it straight
he's
with
got
just
that
a little bit of charm.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he could
That's
do
it. Yeah.
the brainy and the brawny at the same
Yep.
time.
No, I think that's
Yeah.
a really good call, Ray.
I hate that I'm right about that.
I know, right?
He's already
like
He's
Oh,
already
great. Now in a
he's
couple weeks,
already
there's
a
going to be an
Mario.
announcement. Edgar Wright is
He's way better
producing
than he's way better at that than his Mario.
Yeah.
No, good, Dave. You were right. You were actually right.
Yeah,
I
Edgar
agree
Wright
with
with
you.
Buckaroo Banzai.
There's going to be an
remake
announcement
starring
in a
Chris
couple
Pratt.
weeks, guys. See what you did?
Yep.
Dave, ask Karen as a fellow Italian if she's as offended by Chris Pratt playing an Italian as I am.
Did y'all?
By the way,
did you guys see the SNL
I will,
skit
I
last
will.
night with Pedro Pascal?
I'm pretty sure she
I
was.
did.
yeah.
I actually just watched that the Mario Kart.
Check my timeline, JD.
I will. On
Twitter.
I'm
I'll
headed
have
there
to
after
check
the
that
show.
too. But by the way, the
All right.
end credits, just want to
Yeah, we never got the
inject this
sequel.
one last thing. Not besides that. Well, actually, in 2021, they actually did a Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League. It was put out by Dark Horse Comics.
Oh yeah, I knew it had to
in
be
2021.
the Boom or Dark Horse because they're all about getting up intellectual property.
They really are.
I'm done with Oscar Isaac. Enough of him for a while.
But the end credits, you know, when they're walking, you know, where they're all walking along the bottom
That's
of
the
that
trailer, yeah.
trainway.
Oh yeah, this is supposed to be a whole new universe. Absolutely.
This is Spaceballs: The Quest for More Money. This is History of the World Part 2, which actually is coming out as a show.
Jews in space.
The song wasn't ready, right, John?
Fact, yes, thank you. The song wasn't ready, so while they're walking, if you play Uptown Girl, you will see that they are in perfect sync. They used that because they said that was the beat that the music that they were going to use for the end was going to be like when they finally finished it, but they hadn't finished it. You're right, Dave.
It is one of the most bizarre and epic end credit scenes ever.
Yeah.
Walking around.
Now I have to watch that Uptown Girl.
Yeah, no, you do, and it works perfectly. It's amazing.
Yep, it's on YouTube too.
Of course it is.
I have to watch this.
Yeah, but you're right. Like one of the things that almost everybody remembers about Buckaroo Banzai is those end credits and that song, that music that they do while they're walking, and there have been other. I forget what the movie is, but there have been a couple of other movies where they've mimicked that at the end of the movies.
So let's okay. I think we've love fested this enough. Well, kind of. Let's go around the room. Everyone just say, what was your favorite thing? We'll end the conversation with that. What was your favorite thing about this movie? And Don, you can go first.
My favorite thing about this movie was just the stilted dialogue that was hilarious. Like there really was times in the movie where you're like, they're serious? No, they're Evil Dead 2ing this. This is what that you know, again, just like the actor that played the Kurgan, you know, was in this movie, and he played it like straight the whole fucking movie, and then his death scene comes, you know, and it's just like he's still playing it straight, but it's just so fucking funny. He's dying. We're still on the clock, guys.
Yeah,
that's right.
I don't. So that's it. That's that. I just the actors in this movie, I think, made it. To be honest with you, they were all really. They weren't big name actors yet, but this really is a veritable like all stars of the 1980s almost, and but before they were famous, and it was just hilarious. I didn't expect it. I expected to hate this movie because I don't like older movies. But after I understood after about a half hour what they were doing, I'm like, okay, this is actually having me laugh.
All right, JD, what about you? What did you take away loving from this movie?
I love the imagination. I love when people take a chance on a movie because sometimes it's so easy to just put movies into the hero journey formula. Yeah, this and this and this and this. And this is just something completely different. I don't think it fired on all cylinders. I really don't. But I love the effort. I love the imagination. I love the scope. I love how big it is and how much it tries to be with how limited the funds it clearly had. Like, I like when a movie stretches what it should be and becomes what it wants to be. So
yeah,
this is just it's a big swing, man. It's a big swing.
It was.
It's a double. It's a ground rule double, you know. But yeah. Hey, Kassan's on. We're just about done too.
Hey, Kassan.
We're wrapping up.
Thanks for joining at the end.
I like it. It's weird. I don't think it works, but it's charming enough that it kind of works when it shouldn't.
Ray?
I've been watching Buckaroo Banzai for about 25 years now. It never gets old. What are you laughing at? It's true. I found
it's good.
It came on. I watched it for the first time on like Cinemax way back in the day. It was right. It was right before softcore porn at like 12:30.
yeah, just before the Skinemax.
Exactly.
Hours, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Cartoon Network went off the air, and then I had nothing but Cinemax. But you know, I've been watching it for so long, and it never gets old. Just the tone, the humor, everything about it. Buckaroo Banzai is the coolest guy in the world. you know. And when they brought reference of it in Ready Player One, I was just like, Buckaroo Banzai. No one else got it, like that I watched the movie with. I'm like, wait, you've never seen Buckaroo Banzai? Let me go grab my DVD. You just sit right there. I'll be right back.
You need this to have your geek card. That's
pretty much. It's up. Yeah, exactly.
Ray's popular with the ladies tonight.
I know. I'm popular with all species, sir. Alien, human, doesn't matter. Canine.
Anyway,
predators. Yep. But
Xenomorphs.
But yeah, man. But just Buckaroo Banzai is just Buckaroo Banzai. There's nothing like it. There's nothing that can ever be like it again. It's a one shot, one deal.
Yeah.
That's it. It can't be rebooted. It can't be remade. It can't be turned into a TV series. A comic book, maybe, but nothing will ever match up to what this movie actually is. And that is just Peter Weller masterpiece. Better than RoboCop. Sorry, I just Buckaroo
better than
Banzai.
RoboCop.
What do
Better
I like
than RoboCop. Don't fight me on this Rings of Power. Sit.
I don't know. I'd almost. All right, I'll go with. I'll go from there. I'd almost put them even, but I see what you're saying, Ray. Like I see what you're saying, because if you have to watch this movie a couple of times to catch all the little things, like there is so much detail in this movie. If during that whole last third act, if you're not listening to the PA system, just listening to the PA system alone, it sounds like they hooked up the PA system from the movie Airplane. Like it's just ridiculous. It's like work, do this, Butte is bad. It's like it's amazing. So
Big
like,
Butte.
and then the watermelon in the
that's
back.
still not old.
I know, right? But it's just like there's so many little things, little pieces in this. They really packed this full, and they were really trying, and it made it what it is, which is it may not have made back its budget right off the bat, but on VHS and then DVD and whatever, like it's a cult classic.
See, watching this and knowing my nerdy self, I feel this is like one McDonald's marketing push away from being really big. Honestly,
I know, right? And no, I agree. So yeah, like I don't know. What was the question? Like, just what do I like about it?
What's your favorite thing about the movie? Yeah.
I just, I'm not sure. Like the whole thing is just. I'll tell you what my least favorite thing of it is Peter Weller trying to sing before auto-tuning was invented.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Okay.
He did a pretty good job for his bassy tone. Like I think he did fine.
Booty is awesome. Who doesn't love a nice booty?
But like, if this movie does better, does what was his name again? Peter Weller.
Yeah.
Does he become a bigger? I mean, he got RoboCop, which was big.
Yeah.
But does he become?
Well, if this movie becomes big, does he even do RoboCop?
Right,
because then he does the sequels.
Is he in Predator? Is he in? I don't know.
He got RoboCop because he was so serious in this role that they figured he could play a robot. I mean,
it's so funny though. It's such.
I know. So yeah.
So
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
JD's got some thoughts.
I'm going to say the way I was introduced to this movie, my father had a copy of it on VHS, and he loved the serials from the 50s and the 40s, and he loved this kind of movie. He introduced me to it, and like I loved it as soon as we all sat down and watched it. So like every time I watch this movie, I think of him. So like there's a lot of great memories tied into this, and yeah, I mean, I love I love the fact that you can't tell, like, are they being serious? Are they being schlocky? Like, and it doesn't matter. It's just
until Christopher Lloyd gives a fuck you to the other alien.
That is, yeah. There's so many little things.
They don't make fun movies anymore.
Yeah,
I think, or very rarely. So, did you have something to say, JD, before we wrap this up?
I just watched the credits with Uptown Girl. That was not only very clearly shot to Uptown Girl, it was very clearly edited to Uptown Girl, because those cuts are perfectly synced to them.
Yeah.
Now I think that should absolutely be, and it fits perfectly with the weird ass tone of the entire movie. If you were to just close with Uptown Girl,
The guys doing little
There's no reason not
flourishes,
to.
little turns and stuff like that.
Yep.
Very
yep.
clearly, they had Uptown Girl playing while they shot it, and they edited it to Uptown Girl and later inserted the song I like. I really like the theme from Buckaroo Banzai, but you watch it with Uptown Girl, and you're like, yep.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Friday the 13th. You ever see Friday the 13th 4, right? With the Crispin Glover
No,
scene?
I've never seen that.
That question was not to you, Ray.
It's my favorite one.
I know, but that was actually shot to Back in Black, right? He's dancing to Black in Black, and then they cut in. I think it was Lion. I think it's a Lion song. That's why you get that weird ass dance that Christopher Glover does. Like if you actually play it with Back in Black, it kind of works, right? But the song they actually use, it's just bizarre. But it kind of
they got a generic house band for that one.
Yeah.
It was an in studio thing.
But even the end credits proves that even like they must have. I would love to see scenes from behind the scenes on this, because I'm sure they were having a hell of a lot
I
of
think
fun.
they were all
shooting
having
this
a
thing.
great time
They're-
making
yeah.
this movie.
I think if you searched around enough, you might find a documentary on it, like a YouTube documentary or something on it. But
Yeah.
nothing officially. We're not going to get the Peter Weller biopic, unfortunately.
No. All right, guys. So let's wrap this one up. Let's go around the room. Any recommendations, or what did you learn on the podcast this week? And of course, guys, you can pimp out your shows one more time. So we'll start with Don.
Pimp out my show. What I learned. Listen, I went into this thinking I was going to fucking hate this movie, because I'm very intolerant of older movies and their effects. Of course, my gold standard is Star Wars, which when it comes to the special effects arena, this did not hit that mark. But outside of that, I was really impressed with the execution of this movie. I mean, with the actors, I like the writing. I mean, the eighth dimension may sound hokey, but I don't know. It's science shit. It's actually kind of interesting. But throw in Christopher Lloyd, the guy from Harry, and I'm sorry, I'm bad with actor names. The guy from Harry and the Hendersons, the RoboCop, obviously. I'm fucking Jeff Goldblum wearing a cowboy suit for no fucking reason after he's okay, John Lithgow. He's a fucking brain surgeon 1 minute, and the next minute he's fucking in cowboy gear.
Yeah.
There's no explanation for that, too, by the way.
None whatsoever.
But his name is New Jersey, right?
Did you need
one? And they call him Jersey.
Yeah.
So I mean, and this again, I'm a truck lover, so the fact that they're like, the Mach 1 engine's going to go on a Ford F-350, like just from the get-go, it's just all weird and wacky, and I love it. I'm here for it. I'm not normally that type of guy, but I'm just watching this movie and I'm fucking laughing.
He's laughing because they didn't use a Ford Ranger.
Right. Well, that's what I thought it was. That's what I thought it was. Is it a fucking Ford Ranger? But then I looked, and no, it's an F3. I thought a dually, so I'm like, okay, it can't be a Ranger. Anyway, I like trucks.
Oh, you really broke it down, Don. Wow.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Like, hey, they're using a fucking truck and not a, I mean, DeLorean's a better choice, but I give them, hey, they got balls. Give it to them. It's all smoky and shit. Like, it's all jank, but I love it.
All right. And where can people find you again one more time?
On YouTube. Search Omega Level Nerds, Podbean, Apple Podcast. I don't know. They're about to, charge me for another year. I don't know. See, I'm not like Superhero Speak. I haven't made enough money to pay my hosting fees.
No, we pay everything out of pocket, dude. We don't make any money. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they mailed the checks to my house. I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah. But hey, YouTube lets you do it for free. We'll see. But they just search Omega Level Nerds on YouTube. You see.
All right, Ray.
Dumb shit.
I've learned that this is my probably about 15th time seeing Buckaroo Banzai in my life, and it still holds up, and I love it. And I don't know. I just love the movie. I really do.
Does it at least embarrass you to see how those white people dance, though? I don't know. That was cringy for me. I was like, oh my.
Crispin Glover is the epitome. I actually, because Randy's in the chat probably still, and I had to go on his show and apologize for his dancing. You can go back and listen to that episode of Cult 45 podcast. available on all podcasting platforms. And
Colt 4-5. I remember those commercials. Billy D. Williams, love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just I love Buckaroo Banzai, and I'm glad you guys had me come on and talk about it because I don't get very many good movies on here. You guys really throw shit in my face all the time with some of these movies.
Yeah, we do.
That's what's weird. I don't know if I can call this a good movie, but I sure did fucking have fun. I don't know.
Yeah, if you watch shit, wait until we do like Laser Blast or Battle Beyond the Stars. Then
can we do Arena?
Arena, oh god,
love Arena.
All right, and one more time. Omega Level.
Yeah, you can find the Omega Level Nerds podcast on any podcatcher that's out there. You can also find them on YouTube, but don't expect it too long because we don't make money like superheroes speak, and they charge.
God.
We make money.
Why does everybody think we make money? Like,
we don't make any money.
If we make any money, Dave's keeping it all, and I'd really like to know about that.
Filter it down. That's for sure.
It's all going towards his detergent, or not his detergent.
His escrow account.
Is that what he's putting in his hair? It's detergent.
Yeah. What gives it that fluff, Daddy?
Tide. I knew it.
He'll be
let me interrupt this for 1 second. I meant to ask this. I'm sorry. Where did you all watch? I watched this on the Paramount app, and afterwards it suggested The Running Man. Did anyone else watch it on the Paramount app? And did anyone else get The Running Man suggested afterwards?
Peacock.
YouTube.
Peacock.
Whoa! It was on Peacock.
Yeah.
Yeah, for free. But I work for Comcast, so
I had to dig out my Blu-ray for this one.
Yeah. I own it too, so. All right, JD, since you're singing.
Oh, I just like the theme. This is a fun movie. I don't know if it's like Don. I don't know if it's a good movie, but it's a fun movie. It's so ambitious. It's so weird. Like, it's something that really is of its era in the 1980s, right? Like, this movie doesn't get made in the 70s. This movie doesn't get made in the cynical 90s. Like, it's very 1984. And I think it's part of the charm of it. I have to see it again, right? Because the first time I watched this movie, I was like, what is this? And actually hearing your enthusiasm for it, like between you, John, and Ray, I've found another level of appreciation for it, to be honest with you. So I mean, like, you guys made me appreciate it more, right? Because sometimes I think I go into these things looking at it. What's the story? Like, I can't turn my brain
Sometimes
off.
you don't need a story, JD. Sometimes you need to just. Sometimes you really just need to
Right.
shut your brain off. Have you ever watched the Mel Brooks movie?
I have, but those always have good stories.
Yeah,
Like,
they
you know,
have stories.
Tell me the intricate story of Robin Hood Men in Tights.
there's no intricacy in the story. Like, it's a character has a goal, right? A character has to do something because of something, and he's just doing things because he needs to do things, But that's the charm of it, is that it doesn't kind of work, right? And I think that's what makes it kind of cool. Like, it's kind of a failure, but it's like a glorious failure, and it's fun to watch.
So it's safe to say that you learned that a movie doesn't always need a good story.
Nope.
No, I guess you're right. It goes against everything I believe in, but it's true.
Yes.
I guess we all can't be Jordan Peele. You know what I mean? We can't have those intricate, in-depth stories like Nope.
Nope does have an intricate. Like, I had to watch Nope twice to like really get all of it, because I was like, oh, this isn't the movie I thought it was. Nope is an experience. But this is the exact opposite of the experience of Nope. This is Buckaroo.
But it's a positive experience. Buckaroo
No
Banzai
doubt. No doubt.
Positive experience.
And you cannot watch this movie and not smile.
Exactly. And I love movies like that. Movies that take you out of reality. The fact that there's nobody can be Buckaroo Banzai. Nobody can be good as a brain surgeon, a scientist. We get through our everyday lives, but we can look at Buckaroo Banzai and just be like, I'd like to be that guy. Instead of relating to a character for the most part, like you do in every show. You always find in a movie or a show, you always find a character that you kind of latch onto.
Because you're supposed to. That's what we're supposed to do.
But you're supposed to latch on to Buckaroo Banzai because he is everything that you are not.
That's true. That is the exact aim of it, which is exactly what you're not told you're supposed to do, which is what's interesting.
So,
yep. Reverse psychology on you,
JD.
Mm-hmm.
Hassan makes a good point. We should always announce what we're going to review and tell people where they can watch it before they.
Oh, screw that noise. I was told Bubba Hotep was coming, and I got screwed out of that one.
We haven't done Bubba Hotep. We're going to do Bubba Hotep. That's going
Yeah.
to be a thing. We
Yeah.
should do Bubba Hotep. Let's do Bubba Hotep. Let's do it the week out because we gotta change the schedule next week. Sorry, Dave. What do you think? 2 weeks Bubba Hotep?
Oh, right, because next week
All
is
right.
Super Bowl. Is
Super
the
Bowl.
Super? What do they call it? Super
Yes.
Bowl or?
Okay. All right. First off,
Let's say don't say it.
do you have any
you'll get fucking
recommendations,
charged.
JD?
No, none. Buckaroo Banzai. Go see it. I think everybody should see this movie
At
for
least
various
once.
reasons. Like you should. Like if you hate it, you have to watch it just because you should see this movie, right?
Yeah.
You really should, because I went into it thinking like, okay, we're gonna get some once bitten ice pirates bullshit, and it's way better.
John?
Well, my recommendation, as always, is going to be partially anime. So,
Can't disappoint the
7
9
billion
billion
fans
of the
can't be wrong.
world.
yeah, all the billions, right? I never can learn that down. I'll never live that down.
I already made it into a T-shirt. What are you talking about?
Nice. There's an anime started this season called The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady, and it is very good. The writing is actually excellent, and it's got a good storyline, and you actually care about the characters. It's not one of the standard fluff pieces, so I would recommend
it's not a
that.
fluff piece. Okay.
Well, there's a lot of your standard isekai and stuff, and just stuff.
I don't even know what that
passes
means,
the
man.
time.
I'm just these names are crazy. So one time I went to this dungeon and failed on my trap sense roll, and then I got it's crazy.
I like that. I like that week. By the way, I would have loved to have played, Dungeons and Dragons and Wizard. Was it the? Oh God, what's the card game? Jeez.
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I have cards that I got from 1994 when they were play testing in Texas. When I was working for Funkoland because I had nothing else to do because I was working on just way hours. So yeah, I've got
You got
cards
a Black
like
Lotus?
I have 3 Black Lotuses.
Sell them, and that way you'll have money.
I'm saving them for my
retirement
nephew's.
That's already
no,
5
my
years
nephew's
back,
college. But the thing is, I have. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it, Dave. Sorry. Yeah. Yes. Magical
right.
Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady. Yes. Go see it.
Can we get that abbreviated, please?
No.
I learned that if you're a nerd, you're still going to find something in this movie you love, regardless of how bad you think it is.
It's true.
I think there's a universal nerd love for this movie. But of course, as always, I would recommend that you go to superheroespeak.com where you can find the podcast every week. Links to all our social media at the top of the page, comic book reviews. Don's reviews are still up there. And of course, we have reviews from Kristen going up. And if, you know what, I'm also going to say it. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, make sure you're subscribed to on one of those platforms. You can keep watching us every week.
A follow and a subscribe is free, guys. Always remember that.
We should start mentioning the Discord server too. Probably.
I forget we have a Discord server.
I know, right? That's the problem.
Also,
Superhero
yes,
Speak
and
on Discord.
Yes, we are a nerd show, and we're not into football too much, except I am from Philadelphia, and the Eagles are in the Super Bowl this year, so I do want to watch the game.
So go New England.
It's actually Kansas
I'm
City
sorry,
this year.
Giants.
Nerd.
What is
Nerd?
football?
Nerd.
So we will be streaming next. We will be streaming next week, but not on Super Bowl Sunday. We will be streaming on Tuesday at our normal time. So make sure you check us out then. And yeah, that's it. So.
Hey, Dave, you do
on
realize that the Super Bowl is not going to affect your clientele here, right? Most of us nerds are not watching the Super Bowl.
I
No,
know,
Dave
but
wants to watch the Super Bowl.
I want to watch it. I'm not going to
yeah. He's right.
My
he
home
lives,
team is in the Super Bowl. I want to watch it.
I'll be playing Minecraft and listening for the halftime commercials.
Big deal, Dave. My hometown is in the murder books the first of every year. We set records the last 5 years with the first murder, but I don't want to live in Baltimore because of it.
As always. Thanks for listening. And don't let your cape go out the door. Have a good week.